This week we're hanging out with Haggis and Ed Hardy as we discuss the 1988 horror film Pumpkinhead. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bloody Bits Horror Show. I am your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me, as always, the guy with a real problem with the pumpkin patch / cemetery business combo, Tim Yobo.
How do you make any money off of that? Are you paying groundkeeping fees? Obviously, nobody's fucking paying groundkeeping fees at that place.
You know how couples like to go to pumpkin patches to, like, take photos?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
well,
a theme?
now, not back then. Now that'd be an Instagram spot. But
Yeah. So you could just be next to the big, weird pillar that they bury Pumpkinhead in. But, Tim, we are not alone on our trip to that cemetery. No, we are being joined once again by Dirt Child number 4. It's Candice.
Mm-hmm. You a fool, Ed Jefferson. God will damn your soul to hell.
I forgot that the protagonist's name was Eddie in this. Oh, fantastic. But
and
folks,
Pumpkinhead.
And Pumpkinhead, yeah. So I have a lot
so
in
you
common
got your
with
name
this.
and your head shape, yeah.
I'll have you know my head shape is actually really good, Tim. It's big, but it's very good. Few guys can pull off like Bic razor shaved head, okay? Most of them have a big, like a headband strap that pushed down and made a big, like, gulf in the middle of it.
Do you have a thinning hairline, Eddie?
Do I have a thinning hairline? No, it's about the same as it's been. I just prefer to shave my head.
How old are you?
42. I'll be 43.
I think you got, trick question. I think you got about maybe another 5 years, and then by then, if you're going to go bald, or like how you're going to go bald, that's when it hits you. Once you make it past a certain age, I think you're keeping the hair. It might thin a little bit, but you're keeping it.
Yeah. What about you, Candice? You going bald?
No, I have a beautiful head of hair. I actually have to have my hair thinned out regularly, or else it's wild.
Wow, look at you. Why don't you sell your hair extra to fucking people in hair need?
I have donated to Locks of Love because I grew my hair out super long and then got it all chopped off.
I think we talked about this, and I said then that poor person has to have cancer and Candace's hair. So that sucks for that, whoever that is.
It comes with free lice already embedded.
Yeah, your hair is built like some sort of a protective measure against lice. Folks, but we are here for week 2 of Harvest June, a month covering folk horror, and we're going to be discussing the 1988 horror film Pumpkinhead. But before we do that, before we get to the movie, Candice, what have you been consuming?
I've actually been consuming a lot of movies this week.
Okay.
Because I've been super busy at work, and my brain's tired by the time I'm done, so I just get high and watch movies in the evenings.
Oh, isn't that the best?
It is.
Good way, yeah.
When your brain's like super tired.
This is the way,
it's like,
Candice.
It's the only way I can shut it up.
Now you know the way.
But I also made some mistakes along the way.
Okay, that'll happen. I've fucking been there.
Your pen? Your clogged pen?
Well, my clogged pen that I didn't know I was supposed to gently suck at. Instead, I went at it like a Hoover. It ended up tits up.
It works on second dates, Candice, but not with a vape.
Right. So you get married, not high.
So I got way too high, and I watched a movie that was not good for being way too high.
Oh, no.
I watched Malum.
Malum?
I saw that. Yeah, how was it?
If you don't know Malum, if you've ever seen the movie The Last Shift, which a lot of people haven't.
Yep.
You have seen it?
No, I'm familiar with it, but I haven't seen it yet. I know it's on my list.
Okay. Well, The Last Shift was like a surprise watch for me on Netflix. It was recommended. So I was like, okay, sure. Watched it. Loved it. Surprisingly scary, good movie. And then I heard Malum was coming out from the same director. He remade The Last Shift and renamed it Malum. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch this. I love The Last Shift. Yeah. And I watched it, and it took, like, The Last Shift was kind of jump scary, moody, because it's really low budget, you know, it can't rely on a lot of special effects. And this one's like, boom, right out the gate, this guy has more money, and he can really show the vision that he wanted with The Last Shift.
That
and
rules.
it's awesome, but it's also one of those movies where it's like, is this really happening, or is this in their head? So
those are good sometimes, yeah.
Those are good. Those are not good when you're super high.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I think this was a really good movie, but I'm a little traumatized by it. So,
Then it did its job. That's it.
and then I watched another of my been meaning to watch for a long time, and that was Significant Other.
Okay.
Now, both of these movies I watched in the Blood Bank, patreon.com/bloodybits. And Significant Other is where these two people, this boyfriend and girlfriend, go on a backpacking trip, and one of them gets taken over. It's not a spoiler.
Interesting. Okay.
One of them gets taken over, but the twists, there's like 2 twists in it that are chef's kiss. Like, it's a good movie, and you can tell they made it on a budget as well. And it's got a surprising amount of gore in it and special effects. Kind of dodgy CG special effects in some places, but I can forgive it.
Okay.
It was really good. And like I said, it had some twists that I truly did not see coming. It really played with your expectations, and it had a lot of dark humor in it. So I highly recommend seeing Significant Other.
Wow, interesting. I always love one that's got some decent dark humor thrown in.
Out
It's
of
been a
nowhere.
while since I've seen one, too. So that's...
Yeah, you
sounds
get
like
halfway
fun.
through the movie, and it flips itself. And you're like, oh, shit. Really good.
Interesting. Sounds like a good
Were you
time
high
to
when
me.
you watched that one too?
Yes, I was.
Regular high or too high?
Regular.
Okay.
So I could enjoy myself.
That's good. That's good. You
And
got
not
to
be like-
regulate that high.
And not be like in the first 5 minutes, someone gets their head blown apart, and I'm like, holy shit, oh my god.
What about you, Tim? What have you been consuming, my friend?
Not too much. I saw the Fast 10 movie, Fast X.
Eh.
How was
Yeah.
that?
I'm just going to say, like what everybody else says, Jason Momoa is really the only reason to see that movie. Unless you just want to be dumbfounded as to the stupid physics that are taking place in this movie. And I understand it's not supposed to be a realistic street racing movie anymore, like it originally started out as, if that was even true. But just the stunts are just ridiculous. Where it's just like, you really have this, just have your brain turned off to watch it and enjoy it. But Jason Momoa was really good at it.
Speaking of Jason Momoa, me and my husband were talking about how hot Zoe Kravitz is. And he was like, that's Jason Momoa's stepdaughter? I was like, what? And we looked it up, and I was like, damn, that is his stepdaughter, because he's married to Lisa Bonet, who was married to Lenny Kravitz and begat Zoe Kravitz.
Interesting.
And they're only 9 years apart. I was like, that's got to be fucking awkward when your stepdaughter is fucking Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
But you're also Jason Momoa, so it's not like you're stuck in a room with her and your 4 other siblings sleeping in a big bed.
Right. Yeah,
Like
you're not
this
in
movie.
the Dirt Child house.
Yeah.
Man.
At one point, I thought they were going to kiss.
Remember when Lenny Kravitz's dick popped out while he was performing, Tim?
And everybody was impressed.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling my wife
He
about
only
it.
noticed when he's like, what the hell is hitting me in the chin?
Yeah. He's all like, damn, I never get cheered on this fucking hard. What's going on? Oh, it's my dick. I was telling my wife about, like, nobody was mad. Because remember with Janet Jackson's nipple, right? And people were like, oh my God, they were all up in arms. With this dick, everybody's like, hey, how about that? That's a hell of a dick.
Everybody just stood up and applauded.
Yeah. Like, you know what? Nice, dude. We're not even mad.
It's like Willem Dafoe needing a stunt cock because his regular cock was too big.
Oh, that's got to be the best day of your life when you get that news, right?
Yeah. Like, you know what? I'll do this movie for free.
Like, yeah, you're like, you know what, guys? I'm going to take you all out for a drink tonight. How about that? My treat. Everybody's just drinking their drink, looking at you, knowing your dick is way bigger than theirs. Oh my God. Okay, so don't watch Fast X, even though it is on the bank now.
You know what? What somebody needs to do is put timestamps of when it's just Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
And then watch the movie that way. I'm sure it's on digital, so somebody on YouTube is going to put a mash of all the best parts, which is literally just him.
Sounds good to me, man. So I've been playing Diablo 4. That's fun, of course.
Still, this is like the third week you've been talking about.
Yeah,
that, right?
It's a fun game. But as far as consuming, I tried to watch a movie, and I actually had to shut it off. It was that fucking stupid.
Oh.
It's this movie, Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Oh,
I saw that in the blood bank, yeah.
Did you really think it was going to be worth it going in?
Candice, I knew it was going to be a piece of shit. I don't know what it is about me. Like, I have this fascination with the stupidest premise for horror movies. Like, the dumber premise you can come up with, the better. And I'll check them out, and every time, like most of the time, like Glorious or what do you call it? Even Willy's Wonderland. You're like, okay, this is a stupid idea or whatever.
Sometimes they can pull it off.
Yeah, sometimes you're
pleasantly doesn't hurt having Nicolas Cage in your movie to give you a little bit of goodwill. Yeah,
fair. Yeah, and so sometimes you're like, that was pretty good. Not in this instance.
Do they have a movie called Rock Paper Scissors?
I think they do, Tim.
Oh, my God.
I'm pretty sure.
That's like when I watched Amityville Moon, and I was pleasantly surprised at how competent it was.
Yeah. So,
that's got to suck.
Definitely.
Making a competent movie, but it's an Amityville movie that nobody's even going to ever... Only Candice, when she's super high from sucking the devil's vape so hard, that she's going to give it a chance. Amityville Clock? Or Amityville what? What is it now?
Amityville Moon.
Oh, Moon. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad one. I mean, anytime you've got the like young teens and 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds that are supposed to be just out of high school,
that's just the 80s.
Yeah. Well, no, this is a brand new movie.
I know.
And this one though, they've decided that the move is going to be like some girl was obsessed with the game Fuck, Marry, Kill. And it goes back to some like ancient game of like
somebody was obsessed with Fuck, Marry, Kill as a game,
or someone got insulted.
But there's like these ancient roots where it's like, what was it? Bind, bury, something else. Ball. I don't know.
Well, we lost the library of a.
It was Bind, Bury, Bang, and no, I don't remember what it was. But then the girl dies, and it's the dumbest, like thinnest premise. This girl kills herself because, like, I don't know, somebody didn't want to fuck her, and she got all incel over it.
Would have killed myself many times over if that was the case.
That's what it was. She was saving herself for marriage, and she walked in on her boyfriend banging out like 4 broads at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Well, she was saving herself, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. He never has that.
If it's going to be your first time, you want to make sure you, as a guy, have the enough experience to make it a good time, right?
So now
banging out 4 girls at the same time is...
So now she invites her ex-boyfriend, that guy, the girls he was banging and all their friends... to her house for a reading of the will. And they're all like sitting at this table and they're all like, man, remember how she used to love playing F, Marry, Kill or whatever?
That's such a weird game to really
latch on to. Why do you think I watched it?
Because it's got a catchy enough title that somebody is going to watch it just because of the title alone, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It sells itself on just the premise, but the premise is nothing. So yeah, and then I got like maybe 25 minutes into it. I'm like, this is just, nobody can act. It's fucking pointless. Like, oh my, yeah, terrible fucking movie. So highly don't recommend. Highly do recommend. On the other hand, Mountain Dew Summer Freeze.
Oh, I've been drinking that too.
It's good. It tastes like a rocket pop.
Yeah, exactly. It tastes like a melted rocket pop.
Tim, you got to get in on this, buddy.
I like ginger ale and I like root beer and Coca-Cola in Mexican glass bottles.
That's it?
Yeah.
You got to try. Do you like rocket pops, Tim? You used to when you guys would
play
stickball. I know
the rocket pops, red, white, and blue, right?
Yeah. So you like those, right?
They were good. Yes, I like them. Yes.
Imagine if somebody could sell you a liquid approximation of that.
It's okay. I'll pass on it. It's not
All
my
right,
thing.
Tim.
I'm very conservative when I come to my sodas. Sorry.
Okay.
He's very set in his soda ways.
Ginger ale is a pretty conservative soda, I feel like.
I know. Ooh, ginger ale's too spicy for me.
Oh, I don't know. I'll stick to the ginger ale, folks, not the ginger beer. That's a little too much side to side action for me.
Nope. Just regular beer for me, please.
So here we go, folks. We've got it. Pumpkinhead, 1988. I'm going to go with you first, Tim. What is your history with Pumpkinhead?
I remember seeing this in the rental place, whichever one it was at the time I was going to, Blockbuster Hollywood Video or a small mom and pop store that might still have been around in 88, and going, Pumpkinhead, fuck that, and walking right past it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You a fool, Tim Yobo.
I was. I was.
Oh, man.
But I don't know. It's just I went by. I was like, "Come on, they're gonna make a fucking movie about everything and have a fucking stupid ass name, kind of like Marry, Fuck, Kill."
Right? Yeah.
Pumpkinhead.
All right. What about you, Candice? What's your history with Pumpkinhead?
I don't even know when I first watched it.
Besides living it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know I got a lot of stories coming up in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of dirty stories, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, I think when I was from the mom and pop rental shop, I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. I picked it out and watched it, and I was like, oh man, I love this movie. I love this monster. I love the mood of this movie. I love how it feels watching it, because it really evokes a certain mood. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if these sequels are any good. Oof. No, they are not.
What falls off harder, the Pumpkinhead sequels or the Children of the Corn sequels?
I think Pumpkinhead, because Pumpkinhead's actually good. Children of the Corn's okay.
I've never seen the Children of the Corn sequel. I saw the first movie in the movie theaters when it came out, and I hated it, and I was like, I'll never go back to this thing again. So,
you know, they did, I think, didn't they do a remake of Children of the Corn?
I think they did a remake. Yeah, I'm still not interested. And I remember I think it's in Night Shift, and I remember skipping over the story completely until like years and years later. Because I was just like, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah, you don't like anything that's like food related. Pumpkinhead, kids with a bunch of corn, fuck all this.
No. Children of the Corn, the first one, is a horrible, horrible fuck of a movie. I'd rather watch Maximum Overdrive.
It's pretty bad.
Me too.
Yeah.
Maximum Overdrive's fun though, Tim. Come on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh,
But
that's
I
what we
actually-
need. We need a Fast and the Furious Maximum Overdrive crossover.
Get Stephen King
Ooh.
back on cocaine and let him direct the next Fast and Furious.
There
Oh
we
man,
go.
they're trying to like save hostages from the Green Goblin truck.
That could be fun, man.
That could be the
Then you got
story.
the Transformers thrown in too, right?
Yep,
Why
yep,
not?
and you get Spider-Man in there because he sees the
Bring
Green
all those
Goblin.
IPs together.
Yeah. So, anyhow, go ahead, Candice.
But you know, this is one of those movies that I own on Blu-ray because when I get the urge to watch this movie, I have to watch it. Like, especially around Halloween. This is a good fall movie for me. I don't know why. Because it's not related to Halloween at all, and it's not particularly in the fall. But for some reason,
Those youngins don't look old.
maybe it's the
Yeah.
name Pumpkin. I don't know. But I always break out my Blu-ray, which I watched for this movie. I mean, for this episode.
Excellent. So this is like the first horror movie that I can remember like being a new thing to rent at our local like mom and pop place. Because I mean, this came out 88. Yeah, it would take them a while to get new shit because it was just like basically a wall of videos you could rent at a gas station until we moved out of that small fucking town. But I remember this one was in there. I remember seeing it as
Where
a
were
kid.
the pornos?
There were no pornos.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, this was like a pre-porno vibe going on.
There was
there.
no such thing as pre-porn videotapes. Porn started the whole thing.
I mean, like this mom and pop place didn't have the beaded curtain. In my
No,
life,
but
I
like they
didn't.
underneath have underneath the counter or something like that. You know, hey, yeah.
No, they didn't because later on
My
in life,
cow's been looking pretty too much good lately. Got something for me?
Now later on in life, my buddy worked there at the video place in the back of the convenience store, so he would have told me if there was porn.
He would have known. Yeah.
Ironically enough, that was my OCD friend. I used to always fuck around with the order of all of his movies. And he worked in the video rental section of that place.
I tried to forget that story, but
no. So I remember seeing it back then, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun." And then I just rewatched it today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, Eddie, you disappoint me. I thought
Oh,
you loved
I?
this movie.
You know what disappoints me? The acting in this movie.
How dare you?
The acting in this movie,
except for one person.
It might be the worst acting I've seen in a movie in a long fucking time. And I watched Fuck, Marry, Kill.
You can't be serious.
Candice, I'm going to have to take you to task on this movie a little bit. It's pretty rough, dude. I'm sorry. I'll give Lance Henriksen some chops. Okay, he's good.
Definitely the best part of the movie.
But all of the dead meat kids are fucking atrocious actors.
Oh, I don't really give a shit about them.
And some of the lines. Oh my god!
Come on, that's Superman. That's little baby Superman, not baby Superman, because we don't see his dick.
Yeah,
this
little
is
baby Superman.
Middle Superman.
Yep. There, we'll
Middle
get to
Superman.
that. Okay. So written by Mark Patrick Carducci, who wrote Neon Maniacs. So that tracks, right? Makes sense. Directed by Stan Winston, who was really more of a special effects dude.
I'm like, I know that name, but I didn't know he directed movies.
No,
that's why the thing about this movie is that I'm not saying it's a great movie, but it looks so fucking
Candice
good.
Backtracking already. No, Candice, stand your ground.
My only criticism of it is that the acting is pretty fucking rough. But you're right, the special effects in it fantastic, and it looks. It occupies a place and a time. Like when you're watching this, you get a real sense of where everything is, locationality. Like everything is very well put together.
Well, how is the acting in this movie any worse than your typical Friday the 13th movie?
It's not.
Because I'm not saying that they're Oscar worthy or anything like that, but I don't know. I don't think
Eddie's just a dick.
Yeah, I'm a dick.
Okay.
But I'm a fucking movie critic. Okay, that's my job now.
That's right. We're professional movie critics.
This is one
no
of those
school,
cases.
No experience, but
this is one of those cases where it's not if the movie's good or bad. It's how entertained are you when you're watching it.
Right? No. Okay, let me get out ahead of that one.
And I call those great movies,
The
even
movie
if
is
objectively they're not.
It's a fun movie. I'll put it that way.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Even the way he's saying it, though.
Don't hurt yourself too hard, patting yourself on the back for that, Eddie.
Stan Winston, more of a special effects guy, though he did direct some music videos, of course, for Guns N' Roses and Michael Jackson, of all people. So, I mean,
if you
some
don't know
heavy
who
hitters.
Stan Winston is, then what the fuck are you even doing listening to the show?
Right, exactly, yeah. But yeah,
maybe
as you
somebody
out,
young just getting into horror, Candice.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
Gatekeeper.
As you pointed out, though, Tim, yeah, he wasn't really much for directing, mostly special effects.
Well, this was his only movie that he directed.
Well, look,
yeah.
is this? I bet he's like, hey, you know what? Fucking Tom Savini can do it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So then you've got starring Lance Henriksen, as we said. He plays Ed Hardy. He was
Harley.
Bishop.
No, he's the guy who invented the T-shirts.
Yeah, he's the
Get away
T-shirt,
from him. Yeah.
the weird British T-shirt guy. He just tried to get away from
You
all
a
that
fool,
shit.
Ed Hardy.
I'm never going to buy a Zippo that's designed by you, boy. Nah, so, of course, it was Bishop and Aliens. Everybody, come on.
And
course,
almost
everybody.
the Terminator, which, my God, I would love to see.
Almost the Terminator.
What that
He was
was, yeah.
Emil in Hard Target. Fantastic.
Again, if you don't know who Lance Henriksen is, what are you doing?
What are you doing here? I mean, he was fucking King Bowser in the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, yeah, he was. I forgot about that.
That piece of shit.
And that man has led a life. I listened to an interview with him where he was talking about his childhood, and he was from a poor, broken family. His mom got remarried when he was 14, and his stepdad was a total alcoholic, abusive asshole. So he ran away from home when he was 14 years old, and he just was like an itinerant worker. He would just go from state to state hitchhiking and doing odd jobs to get by. He was actually illiterate. And he learned how to read from reading scripts for auditions.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. A hell of a fucking guy.
Good for him.
Now he,
And also, don't forget that TV show that he was in, Millennium.
I do remember that.
What a great show that! Holy fuck!
That
was one of those shows that I couldn't believe was on Fox.
He was in that. Was he in that? I think he was in the fucking Brian Bosworth movie too.
Yeah, Stone Cold. Yeah, he plays the bad guy. Yeah. And you buy Lance Henriksen as the leader of a fucking motorcycle gang without a problem.
He's also in Near Dark for the vampire people.
Yep. He's versatile, man, and he's good in this. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, come on, you have to know who he is. Tim, you alluded to this one. Jeff East, who played Chris, he was also a young Clark Kent in Superman.
One, yeah.
Yep. And
not the one with the dick or the one with the good acting ability.
Yeah, right. The dickless one with that can't act is what Tim is saying.
I stopped this movie halfway through because I kept looking at the guy's face. I'm like, I know him from somewhere. Yeah. Where the fuck? I'm like, all right, look, he looks like he's maybe William Katt's son, like the guy from The Greatest American Hero, but he can't be because of the age difference, my God. Right? Yeah. But then when I saw it, it's like, oh, fuck, that's right. That's Superman, Teenage Superman.
He was also Huck Finn in Tom Sawyer.
Makes perfect sense when you see this guy's hair and his face. Yeah, he's Huck Finn. That was the role that he was born to play.
Yeah. We got Joel Hoffman, who plays Steve. He played TJ in Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Hey, okay. Yeah. The real one or the fake one?
The fake one with the guy with the guitar and
the oh, that's right. Yeah, with Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, again, a fun movie, but not a Slumber Party Massacre. No. Then you've got the legend George Flowers, who plays Wallace.
Ooh, yeah.
Big time bloody buddy. He was in They Live.
No, we didn't. I was thinking about that. We didn't do They Live on this show. We did that on the Mustachioed podcast.
No, we did They Live on this show. It was my very first episode before either of you were here.
Oh.
Candice is bullshit when she said she'd be going through the back catalog.
Yeah, I haven't been going that far.
Because I recorded that episode.
No BC for Candice.
Nope.
On the podcast. Yeah.
No, I recorded that episode on the 4th of July weekend, and I couldn't think of a better movie for 4th of July recording than They Live. I mean, that movie is America. It's a
great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Joel Hoffman, who plays Steve. He was, TJ in Slumber Party Massacre 2. We got George Flowers, played Wallace, like I said. He was in They Live. He was in Sorority Babes at the Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama. He was in Maniac Cop. If it's the 80s or the early 90s and you need a guy to play like a bum or like a bad janitor or, the father or the patriarch of a weird mud family, you get George Flowers. And then we also had a young Blossom, Miam Balik, playing one of the Wallace kids.
I was wondering if you were going to mention her. I had it in my notes.
Yeah, Tim, she was Dirt Child number 4. That's my little shout out to Candice, because then she would go on to host Jeopardy, and that just seems like a very Candice on Lego Masters. To do. Yeah, and she was on Big Bang Theory too. So,
oh, she got Big Bang money.
Yeah, dude, she was on for seasons. She was the main, the weird guy's girlfriend.
Yeah, she was Sheldon's girlfriend.
Oh, the weird guy. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, not the one that looks like you, the other one.
Wow, because that fucking show was on forever, and that was like the biggest show on CBS. So they all must have gotten bank.
It's still in syndication, and no shit, Tim. That's like the lead in to the new, not WWE, but AEW, the other wrestling show.
Oh,
and it commonly does better numbers than the wrestling shows live. Fucking reruns. Yeah,
because old people are watching it, and then as soon as wrestling comes on, all the old people are turning it off. Because I'm sorry, CBS is for old people. That's it.
No, this isn't on CBS.
Been and always will be.
This is on, I think, like TNT.
Well, no, it's a show that comes from CBS.
Oh,
so it doesn't matter where it goes in syndication. You can always tell the CBS show.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. So, yeah, Candice, I mean, this is one of your go-tos here, so I'll throw it over to you for some more notes. Anything you want to add?
Unfortunately, I did not have time to go through my Blu-ray extras, but I did want to mention some things about the movie in general and why it ties into Harvest June.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is Americana horror.
Yes.
And there are some things I wanted, Americana horror, Americana folklore. And it's like the perfect example of it. Because it's a weird hybrid of the old country and the new. Because the demon that they summon, Pumpkinhead, could just as easily be a fairy that was summoned like back in Gaelic times. And it's just when you bring it over to America after the rise of Christianity, it morphs into a demon, but it serves the same purpose.
Okay, makes sense.
And what really brings it together for me to make it Americana folklore is the fact that it is Pumpkinhead, because pumpkins come from the New World. They were never in Europe before Columbus. And so I think it just brings it all together just beautifully.
Yeah.
And also,
okay. Candice smartening up the movie.
I also really like folklore in general. And I wanted to mention that in The Hills Have Eyes, the gas station had bottle trees.
Mm-hmm.
Which for anybody who doesn't know is when you just take a tree and you put like glass bottles on the branches, it's supposed to ward off evil spirits.
That's what that's for? I thought that like people were like they were playing games like who can throw the bottle on the branch.
No,
there was nothing else to do there.
It's an old superstition, and like because I come from Appalachian Mountains and they are rife full of stuff like this. Like I put on Twitter a video of it raining with the sun outside because in the South it means the devil's beating his wife.
Wait, hold on. I got so many questions about that statement right now.
Devil's usually underground.
Number one, how did anyone figure that out?
I don't know. Probably some old coot said it, and then it just caught on.
That is the best kind of folklore. Hey, because it's you know what I love about it so much, Tim, is it's largely meaningless.
Oh yeah, but it's cute.
You can't do anything with it.
It's fun.
I'm just trying to figure out the devil's in hell, which is below us. How hard is he beating his wife? That I don't know. Were those her tears?
Well, that's the whole
point.
That
is shooting all the way up and then coming down.
Because it's raining when the sun is out. Everything's topsy turvy. So God's underground. Devil's up.
But the devil, you would imagine, would beat his wife. That's not topsy turvy.
You would imagine the devil wouldn't even be married. He's got a lot of fucking pussy to slay.
And he probably beats the shit out of her hard enough to switch the heavens.
Right, but that's the thing is that's not topsy-turvy. That's expected behavior of the devil. Now, if you said like, oh, it's raining and the sun's out, I guess God's sucking Jesus' dick again. I'd be like, well, I fucking guess so, because nothing makes any goddamn sense anymore.
Crazy talk. Yeah,
right. So I gotta go down to that where you come from, and I gotta go talk to people about their folklore.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know more.
I know more, and it's going to be topsy-turvy enough.
It's going to be sprinkled in this movie. My little nuggets of knowledge.
The one I have is that the haggis, the witch. Mm-hmm. That costume that she wore weighed 65 fucking pounds.
Oof!
It looked like it too, didn't it? God damn.
Ooh,
well, she's not exactly dancing around in the movie.
Yeah.
This is another little nugget of knowledge that's not about folklore. So when the movie starts, it's the MGM logo with the lion and everything. Did you know that the lion used in the MGM logo is a Savo lion? Famous because they don't have manes. And they're also the stars of Ghost in the Darkness. They're the real lions, or Savo lions. And that's what is the MGM lion.
I did not know that.
Yep, the more you know.
How about
really
that?
Smartening it up.
Yeah, look at us here, folks. You're a regular Miam Balik.
Yeah. She's not just a sexy voice this week.
She also has a PhD in neuroscience.
Yeah, no,
she's
is
super
genuinely
fucking smart.
Yeah. So not smart, though. We open on this weird-ass pioneer family, and they're all tucking me in, because this movie is about how I grew up. So
did you grow up like this?
No.
With the Mudd family?
No.
Well, you said you were super poor with a lot of brothers and sisters.
I was super poor with a lot of brothers and sisters.
They were
true.
dirt family.
Well, no, not a lot of brothers and sisters. One brother, one sister, and then they had 4 kids. And their significant others that they brought in to live in one house.
While you were all living together in the same house, or later on?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. My sisters did the same thing.
Damn.
That's Tim. Why do you think I moved out when I was 16?
With one bathroom.
Yep, one bathroom. But we lived in the woods, so that's like unlimited bathroom.
That's true, yes.
You know, for the guys at least. The women folk, they're not allowed to go out after the sun has
I would
gone
stop
down.
everybody from going out to stop that inflow of kids. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
I love the opening of this movie, and another thing about this movie in general that I really love is the lighting in it.
Yeah.
Because when you look at this family, and this was clearly set, I don't think it says specifically, but probably like, what, 30, 40 years ago?
57.
Oh, okay.
1957, is it?
So 1957. So, these people are poor. They don't have electricity, so they're using lamp lights and firelight.
Yeah.
And
And actual candles,
really shows it off in the lighting, really shows how dark and like dim their lives are at night, and why it would be so easy to come up with these stories to entertain each other. And then over time, the people who grew up with those stories thought they were real. And this is how folklore starts. And so it really just brings that feeling, evokes that emotion. Oh, I love this movie so much.
Well, yeah.
I thought this is how Kissing Cousins started.
Well, yeah, and just from a survival perspective, if something's moving in a bush, the people that were like, I'm going to go check out what that is, probably died.
And they're
very
probably
often.
like, Pumpkinhead got him.
So, yeah, then the people that did were like, I'm not going to go in that fucking bush. They lived, and they're like...
be smart, yeah.
Right, yeah, so they lived, and then they told their kids, hey, you see that bush over there? Pumpkinhead's in there. Don't fuck around. He got your uncle. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, this guy goes out, he tucks his kid in. And he's like, all right, I got to go put the horse back in the barn because I guess I forgot to do that with all my farmer work. So he heads out there, gets, rounds the horse up, puts it in the barn. Cut to that dude just running. It's like, oh, shit, something's coming after him. He brings his shotgun with him, though, so he's fine. Runs back.
You always have a shotgun with you. Back then and out there.
Yeah, so he dips back into his house.
That's where the term riding shotgun comes from. Yeah. I'm not even joking.
Yes, sir. So, he gets back into his house.
Like the guy was driving, and you were the one who was able to get out the window and shoot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they always had shotguns.
Okay.
Yeah. So, he gets back in his house, and he puts the medieval times 2x4 lock in place on his door. And he's like, all right, kid, we're good. Don't worry about it. So just then some random dude just starts banging on his door. He's like, dude, let me in. It's going to fucking kill you. And then the guy's like, nah, man, you're fucked. You're staying out there. Fuck you. Turns around and tells this kid, he's like, all right, put your head down. Don't worry about it. Just don't pay attention to what's happening outside. So the guy tries to run away. Kid's looking at the window. Just watch this dude get pumpkin-headed. Because Pumpkinhead, what he likes to do is he grabs you by your head with his big hand, and then I guess he climbs up in a tree as high as he can get, and then drops you.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, he does like a predator. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good pumpkins.
It's another thing that I love about this movie is Pumpkinhead himself, because he's not some mindless animal. Like, he's got like a really like cruel sense of humor, and he'll like
he uses tools.
People.
Yeah.
He's a dickhead.
Yeah, he's a total... Well, he's a fucking demon, so he's not going to be nice. He's a demon of vengeance.
Right.
Or justice. Yeah. And, like...
Vengeance, I'd say.
And, like, the special effects are so good with this, too. Because the puppet... Well, it's partly man in a suit, partly a puppet, and partly animatronics. Mm-hmm. Like, just, like, the money that went into this thing. And
that's
it shows
why you get Stan Winston, the director, because you're going to get a discount. You're going to get a bunch of people who want to work with the greatest fucking special effects guy, and he'll do it cheap and do a great job to impress him.
The puppet, well, the Pumpkinhead itself, the beast, is so like tactile and movable, and it has facial expressions.
Yeah, the
and
fucking
you can
shit
like
smiles.
See emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it comes off.
He's like, I got you. Yeah.
That looks very expressive and organic, which I think is like one of the great strengths of it is a creature design. And it just the way that it moves too, it kind of reminds me of the demons in Demon Knight.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I could see that.
Yeah. So we cut to present day, and it's our buddy Ed Hardy. He's living in a dirt farm with his son, where he's out using his flamethrower to get rid of some weeds.
No, he's using a flamethrower to start a brush fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, son, that's overkill. Probably used more fuel to start it up than it was worth.
Oh, no kidding. To start a brush fire? Like, those happen on accident.
You just flick a cigarette and some dead leaves, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Accident.
No, Tim, they happen on accident.
Yeah.
An accident happens, and then on top of that accident, a fire starts.
No. Sorry, but go ahead.
Okay,
Proceed.
Tim, do you grow up in Long Island or on Long Island?
On Long Island.
You know what's funny and a new term that we need to start using on the bloody bits?
What's that?
That I just learned this week is serving up cunt.
Serving up cunt.
Yeah. Who taught you that one, Candice?
My new friend who's like 26 and she's teaching me all the new terms.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Candice.
you're now old, man. Oh, shit. You just admitted on a podcast that
Yeah.
you're old.
Candice,
But you reminded
I'm
me
not
of
ready for this turn in your life, by the way.
this is fun. You'll like this. You'll appreciate this story.
Okay, so serving up cunt.
Serving up cunt. She brought that up because she was fixing my hair before a meeting. And you know, I was like super stressed out and stuff. She's trying to relax.
Let me guess, is that like when you're bad talking to somebody?
No, it's when you're looking hot. You're serving up cunt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
All
was
right.
like, I thought cunt was a bad word. I thought that was the worst thing you could say about a woman. And she goes, not anymore. Now that's bitch. And I was like,
What?
I've never been called a cunt, but I have been called a pedantic bitch by Eddie.
Yeah.
So I was like, and that's when she
It's
was like,
somewhere in between.
that's when she was like, you might be a little autistic. She was being sincere.
Oh, that's not nice.
It made me think of it because Tim's being
You
pedantic
should have
right
called
now.
her a cunt. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm about ready to serve up pedantic bitch. So
But apparently it's a generational thing where people our age is like cunt is the worst thing you could call a woman, and when you're younger it's bitch.
I just wish I would have known cunt's been on the menu all this time.
Oh yeah, cunt's back on the menu, boys.
All right.
I mean,
Just in
if
time
they're,
for summer.
if they're
That's
just
summertime
serving it up,
They're serving up cunt everywhere.
all you can eat, baby. So yeah, this guy's
Don't get that
fucking-
knockoff spelled with a K. Got to pay attention.
Yeah, you got to get the real shit.
Not
You
coot.
got to scan the barcode on it to make sure that it's legit, right, Tim?
Mm-hmm. Fresh by date. Matches up.
Yeah, oh yeah. You don't want to get served bad cunt. That would not be good. That's probably why your husband's got food poisoning. Anyway, so
Oh,
but you said it was from bad tacos. You didn't say what kind.
Oh, shit.
Wow. The listeners, my husband probably has food poisoning from bad tacos. So
Serving up cunt. So yeah, he's fucking burning down the hills because I guess there's no eyes in them anymore. And he goes over, washes
I
up
would
with
have
this.
fucking gone underneath this guy's fucking house for not letting me in.
No, this is after, Tim. This is present day.
Oh, that's right.
He's flamethrowering, and then
Candice Cunt story got me all
he gets his son, who's the kid from fucking what was that fucking shitty movie? Jerry Maguire. He's that weird little curly haired fucking Coke bottle glasses kid. He's
where
like,
do you
"All
think this movie takes place?
right, Georgia?
Because this always happens. Well, what do you think, Tim?
I'm thinking like a little bit more like Appalachian Mountains than Georgia. I didn't pick up that much of a southern accent on anybody, but maybe that's just because they're not great actors.
Oh yeah, their accents are terrible. But no, so they never say where this is in the movie or anything.
Right.
And I automatically know that it's not the Appalachian Mountains or the South because of the trees. Those are California trees.
Ah,
And I looked it up. This bitch was filmed in Los Angeles.
That makes sense.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I was like, those are not Appalachian trees.
Well,
Those
that's-
are in every fucking movie where they're like, I swear this is Oklahoma. I'm like, this is fucking Southern California. Look at those
Yeah.
goddamn trees.
Well, that's
There's no
what's funny.
hills in Oklahoma.
Yeah, no, good point. No, that's what's funny is if you drive like an hour away from LA, you're just in the woods. Like, it's fucking great, dude. So, yeah, he gets his kid. He's like, all right, let's go wash up. And he starts washing the kid's hand. They have a nice tender moment talking about how
Yeah, he's really sweet. It's the only time I've ever seen Lance Henriksen in like a sweet, gentle role.
Yeah.
I think he did that in Stone Cold at a part with Brian, whatever his fucking name is,
Bosworth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's telling the kid, all right, go wash up, and then I'll tell you a bedtime story, because that's his thing he does with his kid. I guess they have nothing else to do but make up stories out
Well,
there.
they were washing
There you
up
go.
before breakfast.
Right. Oh yeah, breakfast story. That's weird.
Start the day off right.
I guess they don't have TV or anything. What the fuck are they going to do? God, remember when people just sat down and talked?
No. Remember when you would sit there and eat your cereal and read the back of the cereal box and like all the ingredients because you're just so bored?
Dude, I remember reading fucking shampoo bottles in the bathroom.
Me too, taking a bath, and I'm just like, I didn't know you're supposed to put this in your hair for 5 minutes.
I did the same thing until I got old enough to realize there were other things I could do in that bathroom.
Tim's just beating off to a Mrs. Butterworth bottle in the bathroom. Mom's
the shampoo bottle is looking pretty good, right?
Mom's all like, Timothy, where's the syrup in the bathroom again?
Shut, Ma.
Always having the snake out the tub.
Oh, gross. Smells like common maple syrup in this tub. Somebody been serving up cunt with pancakes in here? What's going on?
I thought the shampoo bottle was half empty. Why is it full?
Tim
serving up cunt with a side of pancakes.
Man. So, he starts giving the kid a little story. We cut to some city folk, the winter crew driving into town, and they're just like treating the locals like an attraction. Like, hey, pull over, take a picture of this guy. Yeah, I heard there's this dude out here that killed somebody and put their foot in a pot and they made fish or foot stew
to get rid of the evidence. Yeah.
Yep, and that's what put city folk always making fun of the yokels like they're scary. I will snatch that banjo right out of their hands and show them how it's really done.
Oh, yeah? You going to beat the kid over the head with the banjo?
I'll be like, God, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. So, now they pull up to the old gas station, Ed Hardy's gas station, and they start ripping on that kid for wearing glasses.
Oh my God! No, it's just that it's that fucking brother who's drinking and driving his sports car.
Yeah, was it Joey or something?
Yeah. First tip off, he's a dick. Is he's got a Corvette. Second one, he says, "Get me a beer."
While he's driving. Yep.
Yeah, and then
makes her open it and literally pour it in his mouth while he's driving.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a Corvette. There's got to be some expectations going along with that. It was the 80s, Candice.
Plus, his brother says, he's a good guy once you really get to know him. It's like, if you're apologizing for a friend like that, he's not a good guy.
Yeah, that's like, it's a really good book after you get through the first 300 pages.
Or when I was trying to watch Mandy and I turned it off after an hour because it was so boring. God. And everybody's like, but you missed the best part. If you watch the first 2 seasons of Breaking Bad and you still don't like it, you're not going to like it.
That's a good point. If you're about midway through your life and it sucks, just kill yourself. It's not going to get any better.
Exactly.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, exactly, Candice. Very good point. So they rip on this poor kid for his fucking glasses. Everybody tells the dude, like, hey, what the fuck is your problem? Like,
first of all, they're not that thick.
No, they're pretty thick. They're pretty thick.
They're not that bad. For 88, though, like, didn't they use...
His eyes look normal in the glasses. They don't look like there's one going this way and one's going that way. They're not that thick.
I mean, in 1988, they were making glasses out of fucking window panes. Yeah, they weren't making the plastic ones we got now. So, yeah, they're just fucking ripping on this kid. And they're all like, dude, quit being a dick. He's like, fine, I'm gonna go ride my bike. He's dirt bikes away like a fucking dickhead.
Oh, another sign that he's a dickhead because he does it like right next to them. He doesn't push his bike over to the grass. No, he just like shifts dirt up on them. Burns out,
yeah.
Yeah. Total
God, he's
fucking
such an asshole.
Yeah, that's why you like him so much, huh?
I don't like him at all.
No? You don't like the bad boy with the leather jacket?
Candice, fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, here we go. Okay, fuck, marry, kill. Here we go, Candice. It's, what's this guy's name? Joey?
This is Joey, I think.
Okay, so you got Joey, you got Haggis, and you got Pumpkinhead.
Haggis?
Yeah.
I guess you could, fuck Joey. I mean, that's an easy one. And then marry Haggis because she's going to die soon. And then
she's got great stories.
That's true. Yeah, and you kill Pumpkinhead.
And she's got money. People keep giving her gold coins.
No, but see, you're trapped then, because then you got to take her place as the fucking swamp witch who's going to keep bringing Pumpkinhead back. Because at the end of this movie, I'm like, just kill the old lady, and that's the end of the cycle. It's like, it follows.
Oh, Tim, I aspire to be the swamp witch when I am older.
I was going to say.
Hashtag goals.
How does that, what's the downside? Being the swamp witch? Oh my God.
You got all that money, but what can you do with it?
Tim, that sounds like your goal in life is to just, you warn people about things out in the middle of nowhere. You're like,
people probably get their abortion pills from you.
Yeah, Tim. You're selling people like a chicken leg with a piece of twine wrapped around it that's magic.
Everybody's scared of
for like
you, so they never talk
profit.
Shit.
Yeah, because all it is, Tim, is it's your leftover KFC.
No, it's the chicken that somebody brought to me as a gift, and then I just turn around and sell it to the next person.
Yeah,
all right, so yeah, there might be something there.
Mm-hmm. See, Tim, I think Tim.
But there's no swamp warlocks.
You can be a guy witch.
Yeah, no, there's no swamp warlocks. That's a good point. Most good
some
warlocks.
There was a lot of men who were hanged as witches.
True, but nowadays most men warlocks are like mind freak guys or pickup artists.
They're like Eddie when he was young.
Yeah, like me when I was young. Hey, I'll listen to you talk about Wicca all night, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, you don't got to go to church with your mom and dad anymore. It's okay. So just then the orphanage shows up. And all these dirt children.
Look, it's a truck full of youngins.
Yeah. So Wallace pops out, our buddy, Mr. Flowers. He pops out of there, tells the youngins to, I don't know, look for a bug on the ground to track.
Look for some water.
Yeah.
Something to throw on your fucking faces, at least. They look like they just came out of a fucking coal mine.
I get...
they're so dirty. It's like they just... Right before they started shooting, they just stuck their hands in the dirt, brought it up, and just scrubbed their faces with it. They're filthy.
Filthy. Their clothes suck. Like, fantastic job by wardrobe and makeup. So they all start, like, playing with, like, a shadow, because I guess they've never seen that or whatever. And one of them...
They have a lot of trees in the hollow that they live in.
Oh, yeah.
So they might not have direct sunlight ever.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, my God. So the dirt's like a protective layer. They're like, you're going out in the sun, kid. Rub some dirt on you.
SP Dirt 15.
That's how they play Stay Off the Lava.
Yeah. So one of them just grabs the fucking ball away from Glasses. He's playing with his dog and just tries to, like, steal it.
Yeah,
and the other one... And the other kid takes it from him and is like, hey, dickhead, you better not do that or Pumpkinhead's going to come and he's not serving up cunt. He's serving up vengeance.
Serving up justice.
So they all just start like...
Both of them sometimes can be very cold.
Aren't you happy I taught you that term?
I can't wait to use it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be useful.
I'm going to go on the subway on a Friday night. Like, you ladies look, you're serving up some mighty nice cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, by golly.
Oh, no, Tim, you got to just drop that on your wife in the middle of nowhere.
Ooh, yeah, if she's like, how do I look? She'll be like, how do I look before you guys go out? And you can be like, you look like you're getting ready to serve up cunt.
Yeah.
With all the fixings.
I like my teeth and I'd like to eat.
Oh, man. I'll try that on my wife. I'll let you guys know how that goes.
We're going out tonight. I got a babysitter, right?
Yeah.
We're going out tonight. I want you to dress like you're serving up your finest cunt.
Yeah. What year is this one? Hopefully over 18.
Fine vintage.
So yeah, they all get pissy with that kid that fucking stole the ball. They all start just circling around him, and they're like, Pumpkinhead's gonna kill you, you dumb son of a bitch. And meanwhile, like, one of the city girls is just like snapping pictures of the kids dancing around him, and she snaps on him. She's like, hey, leave him alone, he feels bad or whatever. And they're like, geez, why do you care?
Yeah, none of your fucking business.
Yeah,
that's right. You come from the city, you should learn. Mind your own fucking business.
Right, yeah, no shit. So then the dude, like, with the ball comes up and does the little, like, flinch test to her real quick. Like, I'm going to lunge at you. And she flinches. She's like, hey.
So does Superman Jr. He flinches too.
Yeah. So then he just tosses the ball back to her. So
And that's when like Lance Henriksen walks out of the store, checking up, like, what's going on out here?
mm-hmm.
And I'm like, would you fuck with someone who looked like Lance Henriksen in this location? Like, would you disrespect him at all, ever?
Lord, no.
Like, that guy is scary looking.
He looks fucking unhinged.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't he? I mean, especially in this movie. I mean, I'm just saying on a regular day, he looks like he's serving up punch, not fucking cunt. And in this movie, he looks haggard mixed with that. So it's just
he looks like his body, because he's shirtless in some scenes, like his body is just like rawhide.
Yeah. Look at a tough son of a bitch. So he comes out there, he's like, hey, leave the fucking kid alone, They give him back his ball, and everybody's happy. So then old Wallace is like, hey, Ed Hardy, you forgot my dirt. And he's like, look around you, there's dirt fucking everywhere.
Seeds. I need more dirt seeds. I'm running out of dirt. These fucking kids are eating it like it grows on trees.
Yeah, look at the kids. They're covered in it.
They like, spit to make mud pies.
If this guy needs dirt, he should just scrape his children. That's scrape. Not the other thing.
Oh, they don't need their scrape whistles.
That's right. I need their dad to be like the scrapist of town. So, so he puts old Jerry Maguire kid in charge of the shop. He's like, all right, you watch the place. I'm going to go out real quick and get this guy some dirt. I think I know where I can find some. He does look like
the Jerry Maguire kid. Motherfucker.
Yep. He does. For the longest time, I probably thought it was because I'm dumb.
Yeah. You're like, that kid's been the same age since 1988. That makes sense.
Did you think that he went from this to Jerry Maguire or from Jerry Maguire to this?
Well, I didn't know when this movie came out because I was really young, and Jerry Maguire was big at the exact same time I rented this movie. So, I was like conflating those two in my head, so I just assumed that this movie came out that year in the 90s.
Also in Missouri, concepts beyond like the number 3 are really difficult
North
for
Carolina.
them. So, North Carolina, we haven't got to 3 yet. Yeah. So it'll just be like 1, 2, or a lot of 2 for them. And that's just more than 2. So,
but there's always been a kid like this around. Every decade has a kid that looked like that. Blonde, with the glasses on, and just goes all the way back to Oliver on the Brady Bunch.
Like Bob from by House from the Cemetery. That little fucker popped up in all sorts of movies, and he always made me want to throw up.
Yeah, that kid's creepy.
I fucking hate that kid.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we hate children here. So he puts the kid in charge of the shop. He's like, all right, I'm going to go out and find some dirt. I'll be right back. Guy drives off. Meanwhile, motocross guys are having a blast, getting drunk, fucking hopping over hills. And this dumb shit kid, his dog, it's like runs out like, I'm going to go hide underneath the dirt bike that's 15 feet in the air.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do dirt bike racing or whatever it is they're doing, don't you do like a lay of the land thing first before you just take off fucking jumping over hills blindly, not knowing what's on the other side?
I mean, I would, yeah. Mm-hmm. Seems smart.
Dickhead, though.
But maybe a person who drinks and drives doesn't have that kind of sensibility.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
See, this is why dogs need to, like, warn each other, like, folklore about Pumpkinhead. They need to tell each other about, like, Evel Knievel.
Pumpkin tire.
Yeah. Look out. Pumpkin tire will take you out. Took out old...
That's adorable. I want this now.
Took old Uncle Spot over there, broke both of his legs, and you got the dog in the weird wheelchair in the back pulling itself around.
Covered in dirt.
Yeah, that's their haggis. He was trying to run across the street to see that poodle Mindy. She's been serving up cunt all week. He was trying to go get his knot off.
This side of the border.
Ew.
Oh, man. So now the kid gets fucking run over by Mr. Motorcycle. Just thunk, dead. Laying on the ground, just bleeding out. And I like that everybody's like, don't move him. Leave him alone. Motocross guy, I think, again, his name's Joey. I'm going to call him Joey.
Yeah.
Picture Joey from Friends. So it's that guy. So Matt LeBlanc killed a child, And then he hops on his motorcycle and he like the Fonz is out. He's like,
He bails out real quick.
I don't got time for this. And loads up his bike and
Well, he's like, they'll burn me here. So he just runs and leaves his brother and everybody else to deal with it.
Well, if you pay attention later in the movie, you find out he has a history of running people over.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you take that kid's body with you and dump it someplace where somebody's not going to find it right quick, where you're the fucking last person seen with the kid. Oh, wait, that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, they are in the middle of nowhere. It seems like it would be pretty easy to cover up. You know? Just
Nobody else was there.
Those dirt kids aren't there anymore, so there's no witnesses.
Well, yeah, just roll.
They probably didn't write down your tags or anything. You can just get the fuck. They didn't take your picture.
You know what?
Get the fuck out of there.
Dude, you're paying cash. There's no way Lance Henderson's place is taking fucking credit cards or fucking
checks. Could you imagine someone handing him a check?
Did I say check?
So the kid, you just roll the kid in dirt and then throw him out behind the truck where all the kids jumped off of. Just be like, oh, one of your kids you ran him backed over him on the way out. One of your dirt
you didn't
kids.
see him because he was dirt colored.
Yeah,
he looked like the road.
Someone's backing up, and then you see Lance Henriksen chuck his son's body from off camera and behind it. And then you hear a thump, and you see him run into frame. Oh, God, what did you do, my son?
But here's the thing, though. Joey from Friends is right. Like, with the whole they'll burn us here. Because when the dude finds out what happened, he literally goes and curses them with an old witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's worse than they imagine. So, yeah, the guy's like, fuck this, gets his girlfriend, loads up into the Corvette, and drives off. So now the rest of them are stuck there, just standing around with their dick in their hand, like, well, fuck, now we got this kid dying. What are we going to do? So they go run in.
Get to a phone.
Yeah. So they run into the store, check. Of course, there's no phone. Like, fuck, now what do we do? It's like, all right, I'll stay here.
You know, this store, I lived in the woods in the Appalachian Mountains and fucking middle of nowhere.
You lived in a store where you could buy motor oil, dirt seed, and thread?
Yep, right down the street from me. Well, if I walked down the highway a bit, there was a stand that was just attached to someone's house, and they had chewing gum, they had herbal supplements, they had drinks, snacks. You could get an RC Cola and a moon pie on a hot summer day. I actually grew up with a stand like that fairly close to where I live, within walking distance.
So RC
But
Cola,
they had a phone, right?
Yeah, they did have, it was attached to their house. Yeah.
So RC Cola and a moon pie, did you put peanuts in the RC Cola or?
No,
you put the peanuts in the Pepsi, and that's only if you're a guy and you can't get your dick hard.
I don't like peanut butter, and I don't like peanuts.
Oh, that's right.
Wow, even I like peanuts.
Mr. Peanut did something to her.
He touched me.
I met Mr. Peanut when I went to Atlantic City when I was a kid.
He showed me his little peanut.
He met Candice and he was serving up nuts. It wasn't the one she was expecting. He said, Candice, I got a couple of hot nuts for your mouth.
He's like, hold my cane. Yeah.
Dipped in some RC Cola first.
He tipped that top hat at her when he was done. Said, good day, ma'am, and then left.
Flashed his monocle.
You just keep hearing the chain of that monocle swinging back and forth. PTSD out.
When the fashion was big to have those gigantic wallet chains, those would give me flashbacks. That would trigger me.
Oh, yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah. Did it ever bounce up against the weird change maker thing you had?
No, I was at a different stage of my life at that time. But I guess I must have had this thing about liking stuff on my hip.
Yeah.
Like cunt?
Cunt on the hip.
Oh, man. So, they go back in the shop now. There's no phone there. So, dude's like, all right, look, man, it was an accident, right? What are we going to fucking do here? Okay, well, we'll drive to the cabin. You stay here, right? I'll hang out with the boy and watch him die. Watch the life escape his eyes. Well, you guys head to the cabin and call somebody. So, dude stays behind with the kid. And his dad returns. Runs over, because the guy's like, hey, over here, I got to show you something. And he's like, check it out, dead kid. And the guy's like, fuck.
Look what I found.
And Lance Henriksen is just stoic. just silent, like, well.
Oof. But when he picks up the kid and walks away and then he turns around.
Oh man, that
that look.
Jesus, yeah.
I've seen that look before, man.
I like the way he describes it later on. He didn't say anything. He just looked at me.
Yeah.
What are you said, fucking face blind? You don't know what that look meant?
Yeah. That is not a good look, man. He gave him the death daggers, and he's like, "Yeah, bitch, you just wait." He's like, "Oh gosh, shucky darn, sir, I'm real sorry. We motocrossed your kid. What was that guy? Dave Mira. We Dave Mira'd your son." It's like, walks off with the kid, and he's like, "Fuck, well, I mean, I guess I'll just go over to the cabin now."
Yeah.
So we cut back to the cabin, and this is where we learn that your buddy Joey from Friends has got some priors, because he just tosses his fucking lady around, just wham, and then takes a poke at Mr. Dude in the vest. He's like, "Hey, motherfucker, I'm on probation. I can't deal with this shit." Then he gets fucking just cold cocked. Bam. Right? Then turns around, punches dude from behind, knocks his ass out. Bam. And then
because Joey is cutting off all communication. They want to go call the police or take the kid to a hospital, and he will not let them.
Yeah, he ripped the phone line out of the fucking wall. Then he takes
thinking ahead. Lock my friends in a cabin. Nothing can go wrong with that.
He doesn't just lock them in the cabin. He locks them in a closet in the cabin.
Like in a pantry or some shit.
Maybe he's trying to give him that 7 minutes in heaven. Like the two of you, you know.
Seem a little uptight. Do some necking.
Yeah.
While the child bleeds out.
Yeah, the kid's going to bleed to death. You guys get busy and forget about it. How about that? So then fucking Ed Hardy, Henriksen, brings his dying kid into the house and lays it down, and he's like, "All right, I'll tell you a story, kid." And the kid just looks up and is like, "Dad," and then dies.
Is it a story about a hospital? Because I don't want to hear it unless it's a story about a hospital.
And it's a true story.
Does it have anything to do with internal bleeding? And if so, I really hope it's got a good ending, Dad. So no, and it's dude, and just the vignette that they cut of him like sitting there holding his dead son in bed, and they turn they turn the ray tracing up on it too, so you get all the cool beams of light.
Yeah, the lighting in this movie is unreal.
Oh man. And he's like, "All right, man."
Beautifully shot and framed.
It's like, "All right, I'm fucking done now." Gets his kid, loads the kid up into his truck, and takes the dead kid up to the Dirt family, I guess, to sell for meat.
This is not the Hills of Eyes.
No. So he heads in there, and he
has the seeds with him, though, right?
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, here's the dirt seed."
When you see the Dirt Farms family, like their estate, their house, their ramshackle shack.
Yeah.
Well, they've got hogs and stuff too.
When you see the manor.
How many fucking people are there, though? What do you mean that was one person's house? I thought that was the center of town. There's like 30 people, you see.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a big family. And, like everything's so textured. There's no like blank surfaces, spaces. Like everything has like detail and just down to the very letter. Yeah. And it looks like you can smell it, like you can feel it. I love this movie.
And it nails it.
I don't know if I can. But.
It nails it too, because like with poor people, they don't like to throw shit away a lot.
No,
because it's like, well, I'm going to need this empty container that cottage cheese came in.
And the thing that's crazy is that my stepdad's grandma, so this was like the early 2000s, she didn't have electricity in her cabin. And she only had an outhouse. She didn't have indoor plumbing because she grew up with it and she was so used to doing without it. She just never upgraded.
Weird.
And so from when she was born until she died in the early 2000s, she had no electricity. Also,
just
never cut her
Candice,
hair.
How much she would love a bidet.
Never cut her hair?
Never cut her hair eitir. Nope.
Did she just burn it off or something?
No, she had it like a gigantic
She just
bun.
wrapped it around herself? How old was your grandmother? This hair's got to be like fucking 8 feet long.
That would have been like great grandmother.
Wait a minute. Candice, are you sure this wasn't a grizzly bear?
That's what happened to Grizzly Adams.
She had no indoor plumbing. There was no electricity. She never cut her hair. She lived in a cave. She used to go get salmon and berries every weekend.
Yeah, so this movie makes me a little nostalgic.
Yeah, no, that tracks. So he's like, hey, I got your dirt seeds. And by the way, can I talk to you real quick about if you know where the Blair Witch lives? And the guy's like, dude, I totally know where the Blair Witch lives. But why do you want to talk to her? And he's like, well, you know my dead kid? He's like, well, I know your kid. And well, he's dead. Fuck.
News travels slow around there.
I guess, yeah. So he's like, look, I'm just trying to get some revenge for my dead son.
He's like, hey, man, he leans forward, you got any revenge?
Yeah. Looking for
You're
some
not a cop, right?
Revenge. Yeah, show me your tits. It's like, okay.
All right,
I'll
now
get you
I know.
some revenge now. Yeah, we're safe now. No, so he's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you where that old bitch is because, look, man, nothing can help you now. Your kid's fucking dead. Take him home and bury him. Let this shit slide. Go have another kid. Go find some other broad. You know what? I got a bunch of daughters. You want one of those? I'll trade you for the dirt seed. I think that's how it works down there, right? In Southern California.
The dowry, in Southern California, exactly.
With how many kids that guy has living in his fucking estate? Why not?
No,
the dirt seed dowry.
The poor people in SoCal aren't banging the kids. It's all the celebrities. So, yeah, Ed Hardy's like, I'm not going to do that, buddy. I got to get revenge. So here's your dirt seeds, and I'm going to get out of here. So he goes to drive away, and then this kid Butt comes up, and Butt
serving up bunt. He goes out serving up bunt. There you go.
Is it like a chocolate bunt cake or no?
Pumpkin flavored.
Pumpkin flavored bunt cake. Yeah, so Butt's like, look, man, I could tell you where she's at. She's up in the hills. If you got something to trade me. And he's like, well, I got this dead kid. He's like, no, I don't want that.
It's not worth anything anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I could give you the ball. He's probably not going to play with the dog anymore. Nah, he just slides the kid the dad's money for the dirt seeds. And he's like, all right, hop in the fucking back of the truck, dickhead. And he's like, I don't want to go up there. He's like, no, you're fucking going up there.
Oh, yeah, I gave you good money, yeah.
Yeah, you're coming up here with me.
I gave you dirt money.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to say you guys are dirt poor, but, and then he just like looks at him and motions. But, So, he drives him up into the hills. He stops. He's like, all right.
Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, up into the... He's like, listen, right behind the O in the Hollywood sign.
You'll find haggis.
You'll find haggis. You'd think behind the H, for haggis, but she said that was a little too on the nose. And she's a witch, so she got a real big nose.
Well, she's got a pet owl.
She pointed. She does have a pet owl, Candice. And she had two tarantulas, too, that should not have been that close to each other. Don't keep them near each other. They'll kill each other.
Oh, did not
they
know
don't
that.
like each other?
No, even the male and the female, when they reproduce, like the woman will serve up some cunt, and then she'll kill the fucker.
That sounds good.
Spider cunt.
Sounds good to me, too. I don't want to stick around for the kids.
The 10 million of them, she's probably going to eat most of them.
That's a good point. Yeah. There was a theory I had that insects and rednecks have R-type selection in common for the way they reproduce. They all just have as many children as possible, and then some survive.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Dirt Family Guy, he subscribes to that belief.
Well, there's nothing else to do. Later on, when you see the whole fucking family sitting inside that cabin, they're just sitting at a fucking table.
Yeah, thank God for Atari and Nintendo, man.
If you're that kind of poor, and fucking is free, right?
Oh, yeah, especially, how they always compare the millennials to the boomers? And boomers had, 6 brothers and sisters. And millennials usually had, much smaller families. And it's because you guys didn't have internet.
Yeah,
it's so all you did was just fuck all the time.
Because then you get into the millennials, the really wealthy ones that have to do, in vitro. And they end up having, twins and triplets
That's
all the fucking
how you get Octomoms.
Time. Yeah, oh, God. Yeah, remember her, Tim?
What she's up to? I was just gonna say, what's she up to now?
She's serving up a lot of cunt.
One big heaping dish of it.
Oh, Tim, it doesn't actually get bigger when they have kids.
That's not true. It's completely blown out.
It just gets louder. It gets louder and less reasonable.
Oh, that cunt.
I'm having a day today, folks. So, yeah, he goes up to the witch bride. And he's like, "Hey there, sweetheart. How you doing?" She's like, "I'm all right. What you up to?"
Oh, what's funny is that this haggis, this witch, looks like my mother-in-law.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Really?
She's got the long, stringy white hair and everything. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she cuts a striking silhouette. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm. She's like the sister from the lady from The Shining tub.
Oh, God, yeah. They could be related. Good point. Except that she has indoor plumbing, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it's internal plumbing.
Yeah. So he's all like, "Hey, I had a dead kid here." She's like, "Ooh, bring it in." He's like, "Ugh." So he brings it in.
Oh, another term I learned now: tea.
Mm-hmm. Spilling tea.
Spill the tea. Yep.
Yeah.
So just say tea.
That's yeah. So tea. He's spilling the tea now, and he's like, "Listen, these city folk came in here and they killed my son." And she's like, "Yeah, I kind of get that." And he's dead. I'm a witch, remember? She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, cool. Can I get revenge on the people that did it? You are the Blair Witch, right?" She's like, "Yeah, I kind of am." But she's like, "I can't bring your kid back from the dead, you know." And he's like, "What are you, the genie from Aladdin? What the fuck? Why you can't do shit?"
I also can't make him fall in love with you. I'm sorry.
Yep. And you can't wish for more wishes, but you could wish for the ability to wish for more wishes.
Can I wish to give some wishes to my wife that she gets a crack at the wishes?
Oh, I would not do that.
That's true.
Yeah, really, Tim?
Wait a second.
How much do you really trust your wife?
Well, I never had my 3 wishes, so I'd be on the other side of the world.
No, it's wishes, not witches. You don't get 3 witches.
That's what Tim wished for, though.
He wished for 3 witches.
Hot ones, like the wishes of Eastwick. Yeah,
Serving up witch cunt.
Well, they only got one eye between them, right? So,
witch cunt, I don't care.
which cunt is which? Oh, man. So, no, she's all like, "Yeah, I can't bring him back." He's like, "That's cool. Can I just get revenge?" She's like, "Yeah, sure, dude."
Be my guest.
He chucks a bunch of silver dollars into this cup. And she's like, I still, like I said, I can't help you. And he's like, yeah, you can. You can get revenge. She's like, "Well, all right, but I got to warn you, man. When we fire this old bad boy up, there ain't no turning it off, man. And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be rough. You sure you want to?
Runs its course.
Yeah, you sure you want to do this?" And he's like, "Of course I do. I'm fucking Lance Henriksen. What the fuck do you expect?"
You know what kind of movie I'm in.
Yeah. The name of the movie is Pumpkinhead. If we don't summon him by now, like, we're half an hour into the movie. Something's got to happen.
So
she's like, "All right,
at this
fine."
point, you have to see the monster. So
Yeah. So she's like, "All right, fine." She goes, "Go to the old graveyard / pumpkin patch. And when you get there, dig it up." And he's like, "What?" She's like, "You'll know." I'm like, "No, I won't. Just tell me."
You'll know.
Will you be
if
coy?
you saw that thing,
I mean,
you wouldn't be like, "Oh, look at this mandrake root. Oh, that's not possibly not what I'm looking for."
Yeah, no, that's a. So he goes to this place, and there's just a few pumpkins on the ground at this old graveyard, and he's stumbling around. He tries to get in there. He walks past the vulture at the entrance. Then he goes through the entrance to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney with the I love the decor where they're like, it's going to be a graveyard, but for fun, let's just hang some bones
and some moss.
Yeah,
I'm surprised there were no glass bottles on the trees.
Oh, yeah, good point, Tim. No, but instead they because there's just a full arm hanging on the entrance of the place, and I'm like, that seems really inconvenient. So,
well, you won't miss it.
Fair. I mean, but it could at least be pointing. Just hanging there. I mean, come on.
Maybe the local kids spun the arm around, so tourists and city folk would get lost
because they don't have bottles. So it's spin the arm on the bony.
Spin the arm on the bony. Who wants to play spin the bone? I'm not playing with Lisa anymore. She was serving up cunt out back, and I got the drips. So he goes, he digs, and Tim, this had to piss you off because she's like, "Bring the shovel," right? So he takes this shovel, takes one scoop out of the ground with the shovel, and then just falls down and starts ripping up all the dirt with his hands.
Mm-hmm. He just loosened it up.
Yeah,
and I was saying that you can just bury people.
Well, there are families here with their family buried on the property. You'll have a family plot on your property.
Yeah, you don't have to notify somebody in the government that somebody's dead and you're burying them. You can just do that.
They don't have
if
government
I'm married,
here.
my wife just dies, and I bury her.
They don't have a government in this place. Like, everyone's forgotten about this place.
Who's he going to tell, the little dirt girl?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, no, yeah. Remember,
plus, he owns the only dirt store in the town, so
I guess he could tell
him in jail.
I guess he could tell the little weird stick figure necklace his kid made him.
Oh, the one that looks like it's from the Blair Witch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot that.
Yeah. Well, it didn't really mean anything. The kid just made it, and then he's like, "Here, wear this." And he's like, "I'll wear it forever." Fucking kids.
Never say that, kid.
I hope your kids never made you anything.
Dude,
yeah, I'll keep this, immediately put it in the trash.
In the trash, right in front of them.
Well, just don't say you're never going to wear it. You're never going to take it off. You'll keep it forever. That's just like asking for something.
Yeah, you just be like, "Oh, I'm going to go put it someplace where it'll be safe," and then right in
I
the
actually
garbage.
have a necklace I got from my son that I do wear every day. I never take it off, and I've had it on for like 8 years.
I bet it sucks. What is it?
It's sapphire. From our first family vacation, we went gem mining, and he found a sapphire, and so I had them turn it into a necklace.
Okay, that's cool. I thought it was like some clay thing he made or something.
No.
I thought it was like a big ashtray with his handprint on it.
It's the only piece of jewelry I wear.
Yeah, you made her a big clock necklace, Tim. That'd be great.
Or those ornaments they make at school.
Oh, God.
Let's put these on the back of the tree.
Yeah, we'll just put that back there.
In fact,
there we
have
go.
a tree anymore.
My mom would tell us, put it on the back of the tree so when people walk by, they could see it, even though people never walked by our fucking house.
With my folks, it was always like, we got to put it in the back of the tree so nobody steals it. And I was like, who are you
what
having
kind of
over?
people? We live in the Pacific Northwest. You know what kind of people they were talking about.
Yeah. Don't get a lot of them around in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, man. So, he just digs up the dead body of Pumpkinhead and pops back over to the old lady's place with this gross-ass corpse. Just flops it down on the ground for her. He's like, "Here you go." She's like, "All right."
She's like, "No, that's not it. You got the wrong one."
Yeah.
It's like a gigantic misshapen fetus.
Yeah, with worms on it and shit. It's all fucked up.
Oh, this looks like something out of a fucking alien autopsy.
It does.
When its head starts filling in, it reminds me of Sam from Trick or Treat when he takes his mask off.
Yeah, yeah. And in this scene, too, because this is when the witch... she's like, all right, so this is the corpse of vengeance, right? And she cuts our boy Ed Hardy's hand, and it's like, all right, so put some of your gross blood in this thing, and then take some of the
gets it all over his shirt. And he goes, wait, this would be a great design for T-shirts. Wait a second.
Yeah, could I do like a tribal on the side with these blood splats, and then maybe sell it on a Bic lighter at Target for $3 more than a regular one? Yes, sir. So, she gets some of the kids' blood, too, and then drips all of it into, I know it's supposed to be like a ceremonial thing or whatever, but it's just a molcajete, a Mexican mortar and pestle. Like, we have one in our house. So she mixes some sun blood.
That's how fucking rich you are. You have to pretend like you're poor.
Yeah, exactly. So she mixes in some Lance Henriksen blood, some sun blood, little onion, cilantro, little avocado, some garlic. Hit that with a little bit of habanero hot sauce, man. You got yourself a guacamole. So, dumps that all out on the corpse. And as she's dumping the shit out on the corpse that he dug up, Lance Henriksen passes out. And we see that the two are linked psychically somehow.
Because Lance Henriksen opens his eyes and he's got like demon eyes.
Yep. And this scene specifically, when we fully see, I mean, it's like the werewolf transformation in American Werewolf.
Yeah, it's
right?
like full lights on. It's not hiding the monster at all.
Lights
That's
on,
where
and
you
we
get Stan
watch
Winston.
it raise up and form in front of us. And this is what I was like, oh, yeah, like Demon Knight. Like this scene.
Didn't even think about that, but that's 100% true.
100% reminded
Ernest
me of
Dickerson, you hack.
that. You hack. If you're going to steal from somebody, though, this is a good source. So she's like, all right, Ed Hardy, you got to get out of here. And he's like, all right, fine. So he drives off, nearly gets into this like head-on collision down this one-lane fucking dirt road.
The chances that somebody else is driving the opposite way at that time, but
Slim to none. So he has to pull over and rethink his life for a minute. And as he does, his dead son pops up and is like, hey, Dad, what'd you do? He's like, ugh.
Daddy, what did you do?
He's like, oh, shit, my son's back alive. No, never mind. It's just my guilt. Because he looks over and the kid's still dead.
Yeah, because he was told in the bargain that he is selling his soul. Like, that's the final price you have to pay, is selling your soul. So he 100% believes that when he dies, he's going to go to hell. And he 100% believes that his son's in heaven. So he just lost the chance to actually see his son again.
should have thought about that revenge thing then, huh?
Yeah, maybe there's a reason people are cautioned against taking revenge. Maybe it costs too much.
Yeah, because they won't end up going to heaven. That's a real place.
Yeah. Now, here, let me throw my usual monkey wrench, what I love in this theory, is what if when the son gets there to heaven, his idea is spending the rest of eternity with his dad?
Then, like in Black Mirror, like a weird AI composite of his dad will form.
God damn it, heaven's got AI too. Can't get away from it.
Well, that was the whole thing with the Matrix.
Angel intelligence.
That originally they made the Matrix to be heaven for everybody, but human beings couldn't accept that, so it had to be flawed. Maybe that's what heaven's like, Tim. No, again, my favorite theory too with heaven was the fact that Satan was an angel up there, Lucifer, who fell from grace and no longer was allowed in heaven, right? So given the fact that when you die, you're in heaven for infinite amount of time, by the virtue and nature of infinity, every possibility that can happen will happen. That's the way infinity works. If we know that it's a possibility that you can be kicked out of heaven, as Lucifer did, every person who goes to heaven gets kicked out eventually.
Okay. Never thought of that before.
So you got a bunch of little devils running around.
That's right, Tim. So we're all going to hell, no matter what. You might as well get revenge.
Enjoy the ride, yeah.
Fuck your dead kid. Summon Pumpkinhead.
Get the good property before it gets overloaded. Yeah,
that's right. Summon Pumpkinhead. Serve up cunt. I don't give a fuck. Whatever makes you happy. So yeah, his kid, his dad. Oh, never mind. So right about now, it's like, okay, well, what happened to all the city slickers? We got to check back in with them, right? We haven't seen them in a minute. So back at the cabin, Chris and Tracy, they're the two do-gooders that got locked in the pantry.
Yeah,
right.
Trapped in the closet.
They're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? We got to get out of here, right? And killer dude Joey, he's hanging out with, I think it's Steve. I don't know their fucking names.
As many times as I've seen this movie, I don't know their names either.
Right?
Yeah.
Superboy, yeah. Super Team, sorry.
Yeah. So he's like, look, dude, we got to do the right thing. He's telling Joey. He's like, man, we got to go tell somebody, about the kid. It was an accident, whatever. So, and let those two out. The killer guy's like, yeah, we're not going to fucking do that because I'm going to burn, and it was your bike too, by the way, dickhead. So you're going to burn too. It's like, fuck, you're right. Mutually assured destruction, I guess. Well, this kid's got to, die and nobody know why. So we cut back to Ed Hardy burying his kid in an unmarked grave. And I think this is what you were commenting on, Tim. I didn't know you could just do that.
Yeah. That's a lot of, that makes murder so much easier. Right?
So, Candice, you're saying if my wife dies tonight for, I don't know, whatever reason, she can't breathe, I could just go bury her?
No,
don't gotta call nobody?
I'm pretty sure you got to fill out paperwork and shit, and they still have to, go to a funeral home and stuff.
Interesting. What if we move to North Carolina?
How far deep in the mountains do you want to go?
I want to be
enough that you can bury your wife without any fucking medical examiner.
So you want to go about like Ashe County, North Carolina.
Yeah, I want to be like driving distance from haggis, and I don't mean the Irish dish.
Yeah.
The Scottish.
Yeah, it's about Ashe County, North Carolina. You could probably do it there.
All right. Perfect.
What if you're one of those sovereign citizens, though?
Oh, that's true, Tim. The law doesn't apply to you. Good point.
That's right.
No, you don't have to travel then. You don't have to weekend at Bernie's your dead wife onto a plane to get to North Carolina so you can bury her.
Yeah, that's a hell of a baggage check.
And then you're like, baggage and a wife, right?
Tell me about it. What's in there? I know that bag's heavy. It feels like an old ball and chain, doesn't it? Oh, man. So he buries her in the unmarked grave next to his dead wife, I guess. No idea what happened to her. She probably got pumpkin-headed. Mm-hmm. And then we cut just to Steve following Maggie around because they got out of the house. And he's showing her, like, look at your cross that you're wearing, Maggie. Let's have a talk about it.
Yeah, because she's, like, fucking useless. She's, like, in shock or something.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
She's just staring off into the distance. He's guiding her along.
Yeah. And he's like, listen, look at your cross. Okay, look at this. Remember this? This is a cross. Remember Jesus and the wine?
Yeah, and it clearly means so much to her that she does snap out of it. And I'm like, I bet she's just real fun at parties.
Oh, yeah. She's got to be a blast. Mm-hmm. So
this music's too loud. Let me look at my cross.
So she's looking at the cross with him, and she's like, yeah, you're right. I do feel better, Steve. And then he just gets pumpkin-headed. Pumpkinhead predators his ass from the trees, just reaches down, grabs him. Junk, he's gone. She's like, fuck, I guess that cross didn't work. So
yeah, I have written down, where's your God now, Maggie?
When you see Pumpkinhead, every time he approaches, you know it because a storm starts whipping up.
Yes.
And so there's always lightning. Whenever you see him, he's always lit up, even when it's dark.
And you're like, man, I bet the devil's beating the shit out of his wife right now. Or something. I bet the devil's serving up cunt right now. So, yeah, the dude just gets drug up in the fucking tree. And while that's all happening, we cut to the dad, right? We cut back to Ed Hardy. And he's just having like a Lifetime movie filter freak out because you remember they're linked, right? So when Pumpkinhead's making a kill and he's just dick is just rock hard, then the dad's feeling that. So Steve then just gets dropped, bam, on the ground, and then Pumpkinhead just drags him through the dirt on the fucking ground, just right? Gets rid of his ass. Maggie runs the fuck out of there. She's finally useful. She's like, yeah, fuck this noise. I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
No sticking around to help her friends. Gone.
No, she runs over and she gets her bros back at the cabin. She's like, hey, you're a killer. Why don't you come out and help me kill this monster? To old Joey. And while this is going on, though, old Ed Hardy, he picks up. He's, all right, I'm fine now. I got over my weird little freak out I had. Time to go home and get drunk.
Hell yeah.
So he goes home and he gets grabs his shotgun, grabs a bottle of whiskey, and then the dog's pissed at him.
I guess because the dog can sense he's linked with the demon.
Oh, interesting. So the dogs can smell demon on you.
Mm-hmm. They smell sulfur and brimstone. Yeah.
I tweeted about that. We don't talk about brimstone enough anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was saying, you holding?
Yeah, what happened to brimstone? I guess it's just gone. Yeah. Anyhow, so at this point, Kim and Maggie and the other girl, they all decide they're going to pray in the kitchen. So they go, Heavenly Father, who art in heaven or whatever. Something about the hollows. And then while they're praying, I like that the one girl's like, yeah, I'm going to go get some knives. Because
I'm going to do something practical.
I think that'll help. You guys pray, though. So, and while she's getting the knives, I like that Pumpkinhead kind of cameos past the
Yeah,
window.
you see him walk by the window. I love that part.
It's a nice little touch. It's, you know what it is in this movie? There's always a little, like, extra going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of thought and care put into every part of this movie.
It's like that old movie Airplane. Every spot there is in Airplane for a joke, they put a joke in.
And then they add another one, too.
Well, yeah, they do go overboard a little bit. But in Pumpkinhead...
In a good way, though.
Right. In Pumpkinhead, every spot you could just be like, I don't know, you could make this a little bit creepier, right? They throw that in there.
Yeah, what if he smiles?
Oh, God. When he's got the fucking chain, the motorcycle chain, and he just grins.
He's like, haha, fucking got you.
This motherfucker sets a trap.
Yeah. Oh, my God. We'll get to that. So... Okay, so he walks by the window, right? And this is when the boys, they go out, you know, because they're looking for Steve. They find his bloody bandana just hanging. And they're like, man, Pumpkinhead's a dick, man.
Yeah, he taunts them. I love it.
Dude, just straight up taunts them because they run back in the cabin. And they're like, all right, man, we're all going to make a break for it. And it's almost like the You're Next, like, look, if I just run, because I was in track.
Yeah, I kind of think of it as like, well, he can't catch us all.
Right, yeah. I mean, technically, he could, though, because he's pretty quick. So they open the door, they go to run out, and you just see dead Steve get hung up in front of the door. And they're like, oh, shit. And he just fucking drops their dead buddy on them. And
It's beautiful.
And as they're freaking out on that one, he just Pumpkinheads Maggie, just grabs her ass and drags her off.
Oh yeah, he just pulls her straight through the window.
Yeah, just
all that praying
didn't work. Yeah, the cross, the praying, none of it worked. So Ed Hardy, he's still tripping out because we're getting this Pumpkinhead battle going on, and he's linked to all that mess. So while he's tripping out, he's loading up a shotgun. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go back to the old witch, and I'm going to handle this myself. So he drives up to the old witch's place, and he's not looking good because, Pumpkinhead's beating the piss out of Steve. He's dragging Maggie through the woods. So he's having little Pumpkinhead withdrawals or whatever these symptoms are.
he's having like flashbacks kind of, but it's happening while he's viewing them.
He's having PTSD, pumpkin traumatic stress disorder. Oh, God, do not even bring him out to a Starbucks in November. Oh, my God.
Worst time of the year for everybody.
Loses his mind. Loses it. So, yeah, he's like, all right, old witch, you got to help me, Haggis. And she's...
Help me, Haggis.
There's no haggling with Haggis.
I love it. They couldn't just call her an old hag. They had to name her Haggis. For
the food.
What a choice of a name for her. Anyhow, she's the only other food-named person in this. You got Haggis and Pumpkinhead.
Yeah,
it could be a nickname, right? I don't think he actually calls her proper, like Miss Haggis or the Haggis, Witch Haggis or something, right? Could be a nickname they have for her.
Yeah, maybe her name's Hagatha, and they just call her Haggis for short.
Or maybe her name's actually like Veronica, but because they call her a hag, they just kind of assume that's her name.
That's so mean. That's like
people have called her that for so long they don't remember what her real name is.
I used to have a buddy that looked like a thalidomide baby because he had the really long arm or short arms.
Oh, yeah, the little arm guy.
Yeah, we used to call him Jeremy Little Arms, but that was like
Eddie, hold on, Eddie. Fuck you for making fun of my friend Blinko, Stinko, and Minko, right? So far, Candice, can we go do a rundown of Eddie's friends growing up?
Okay, so you've got Jeremy Little Arms, right?
Yeah.
Who else do we
have?
We got
the kid with OCD that you were fucking with him by switching all the stuff around in his room.
He didn't have a weird name. That was just Josh. He didn't have a weird name.
Yeah, but he was still a fucked up person.
He had OCD. God, who else did we have?
Who was the name of the friend that you guys convinced him that he was visited by the Blair Witch?
Oh, fuck. That was... Shit, what was that guy's name? Yeah, we ran that guy out of town eventually.
See, my friends just had weird names.
Fuck, what was that guy? I can't remember. Troy? Troy something. But no, so that guy ratted on a dude that was selling weed that we all knew because he had weed and he got picked up and he told the cops, like, oh, I bought it from this guy and he gets it from this guy. So like 16 fucking people went down because of this dickhead, right?
He got what he deserved.
Yeah, so this dude, he skated, right? And people took him up to play
Snitches get witches.
No, Tim, you're going to love this. So we used to like to go up in the woods and play paintball. So some people that I know took him up to play some paintball, and each one of them had one hopper of paintballs that was frozen.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah, and those all went to him. Yeah.
Those fucking things already hurt, but hey, you're a rat.
Frozen a little bit
Fucking
worse.
selling your friends out for pot.
Yeah, that guy was a piece of shit. So, no, he didn't have a funny name, though. I'm trying to think of how.
Yeah, your people don't have funny names, but they're kind of all psychopaths and weirdos.
Yeah, see?
Right. No, they're psychos.
My friend just got bad PR.
Then Bruce was the guy that tried to knock out a deer with a mag light.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
He's the one I told you that got pissed off because I wrote the note to him in Spanish class. And he was like, whoever this fucking Eduardo guy is, I'm going to fucking kill him. And I'm like, Bruce, you idiot. It's me. I mean, I'm the only person named Eddie within a fucking 100-mile radius. You moron. Oh, it was you? Oh, okay. That was funny.
When you grew up, there were a lot of people who could have possibly been an Eduardo in your school, in your class, near his desk, leaving that note.
Damn. We didn't have a lot of diversity around where I grew up, too. So, man. Good times, man. No, I think the weirdest named person that I grew up with was named after one of the Three Musketeers.
D'Artagnan?
D'Artagnan, yeah, you nailed it.
I mean, it's actually supposed to be pronounced D'Artagnan, but no, that's cool. Just say D'Artagnan.
Eddie, get your friend on the line. Tell Candice she's got something to tell him.
I need to correct how you pronounce your name, sir.
Yeah, Candice, your friend that was talking about how you might have a little touch of that, does she have like a test we could get you? Or?
Does she know that you have a podcast?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
so she can be.
She hears this, she's going to be like, "Oh shit, she's really definitely in the spectrum."
No, she did. She actually started to listen to one episode because she wanted to hear what Tim's voice sounded like.
Yeah,
because I was always like, and Tim's from New York.
So she listened to it. She's like,
so
yeah, that
she
makes
listened
sense.
to it long enough just to hear Tim's voice, and she thought it was really funny. She loved your. She said she loved your accent. But she stopped listening to it because she said it felt too personal because she like really knows me.
Oh, interesting. That's like
well, here's what she can do. Every week she's got to teach you a new phrase, like serving up the cunt.
Yeah.
Tea.
Yeah. So that's like I have coworkers who wanted to play Diablo with me, but my handle on Blizzard's website is the same as
coworkers suck.
Yeah, it's fuck Jim, and he's Jim. No, it's that's the same. I think I go by Eddie the Axe, and I'm like, I don't want these dickheads searching for me specifically on the internet. You know what I mean?
So none of your friends know you have a podcast.
These aren't friends; they're coworkers, Tim.
We're coworkers, all right. Yeah, that's our difference.
Yeah, they do not know. Thank you. So. Anyhow, yeah, he's freaking out, right, and tripping and loading up a shotgun, goes up there, talks to the old witch, and he says, look, man, we gotta finish this shit. And the old witch is like, no, just chill. Let it run its course.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Like a fever.
And he's like, you know what, bitch? I'm going to end this myself. And she's like, okay, well, I guess, you're just going to cut right to the end then.
Yeah, you're just going to damn yourself to hell.
Yeah, she said the only thing you're going to do is you're going to speed up your payment.
Right.
You a fool.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
you knew this was going to come with a price, right?
It reminded me that, those like chick track things, those like Christian literature things.
Yes.
That they would leave, those black and white ones. I remember I was bored and I was reading one, and it had like a guy who sold his soul to the devil, but on his deathbed God visited him and was like, you can't sell your soul because it never belonged to you in the first place.
Why?
Which completely nulls and voids the whole point of this movie.
That's a Simpsons joke because Bart made a deal, or no, not Bart. Homer made a deal.
He bought Milhouse's soul.
No. Well, Bart did that too.
Yeah, Milhouse bought Bart's soul.
Right. For like a couple of bucks. No, the one where Homer traded his soul for a donut.
Oh,
and then it ended up that he gave Marge his soul when they got married because he sucks.
Oh, that's right.
So on a technicality.
God's a little fucking sneak, isn't he?
God is?
Yeah, deal's a deal. What does that mean? You can't.
Nope, null and void.
You make a deal with the devil.
God,
that's it.
We've established God likes loopholes. Like that's his thing. That's the whole fuck
there
him in
you
the
go.
ass.
Those people who find loopholes in his religion. Yeah.
Hey, listeners, sell your soul to Satan. It's not a problem because there's a loophole.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem
because
there's no Satan or God, too. But
and the devil has been put on notice that there's a good chance that this thing could be null and voided by an act of God. Literally, right? So,
if you're Satan, why would you even get into that game? This thing that created you, right, that is all powerful. You are not all powerful, right? I mean, this dude killed his kid just to get rid of sin, right? And he's
that's after you.
But it's all still like, hey, let's gamble with that guy.
I did not mean for this to become such a theosophical discussion.
I love how I love it how Candice says something and it gets me and Eddie to go on a religious rant. And Candice just goes dead silent.
All right, I'll get off of it. Sorry. Anyhow,
fix it in editing.
Yeah, no. So anyway, he swears, I'm going to end it myself, and then she says, yeah, you're fucked. So we go back to the cabin, right? Now, Pumpkinhead, I like what he does here because they're all hanging out in the cabin. They're like, oh, shit, what are we going to do? And then Pumpkinhead just puts them Maggies on the glass.
He puts Maggie's face, presses it hard. You can see her face smushing on the glass, and you see his giant clawed hand holding her head.
So fucking
and starts
funny.
moving her up and down.
Yes.
He's like, hi, I'm Maggie. Let me in.
He's like, hey, guys, I found your friend.
And then he just shoves her face through the glass and into, like, the sink, where she's just draining all of her fucking blood out of her body into the sink. And people just
it's really
out.
So great because you don't see, except for like not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, you don't see anything like that happen with these kind of movies, right?
Yeah, especially not with a monster movie.
No.
Yeah.
You get some great kills in this one.
Well, this one's not a monster,
sure.
It's a demon, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it looks like a monster.
Yeah. I mean, it's like slasher meets folk horror demon-y. There's a lot going on with it. So anyhow, he smashes her head in the kitchen window, right? Bleeds her out. Meanwhile, Joey and the other broad are watching it like, what the fuck? And he grabs the machete and he's like, all right, I'm going to go get on my bike and I'm going to, fuck this dude up like Road Warrior style, I guess. I don't know. But he runs out there, finds his bike is just ripped apart. I was like, shit. So he turns and yells at Pumpkinhead. He's like, I'm the one you want. Come after me. Then he goes back in the house to try to, like, chop up Pumpkinhead with the machete. Swings at him. Pumpkinhead.
Oh, no. I have written down here, like, 3 times. Who the fuck holds a machete like that?
Yeah.
Someone who's not a very good actor?
Well,
I mean, come on, just common sense.
This guy's, I haven't pointed it out until now, but when I was talking about the bad acting, this dude here specifically, Joel or whatever, Joey, he is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I think out of the cast, he's the one who's gone on to do the most stuff too.
That's incredible to me.
If you look at his IMDb, he's in every fucking TV show, like 1 episode, 2 episodes.
Yeah. It's not for his line delivery, though. I'll tell you that. It's he's got a look. I could see being.
He could have gotten better. Yeah, he's got a look and an attitude. Yeah,
he's always
New York.
the douche.
Yeah. He played the douche well, but you have to kind of credit the writing for that. They did have him run over a kid and try to fucking dip out. It's hard to not
First
hate
you see him
guy.
drinking a beer, making a woman pour the beer for him. Then he runs over a kid, locks a couple in a closet.
Until he runs away from running over the kid, I'm on board with him. You run over a kid because you made your woman feed you some booze while you were driving. That happens. But
yeah, you know what? Look, by the time the cops even get to that place, because you got to drive, 50 miles to get to the cabin to even get to a phone.
Yeah.
Alcohol's burned off.
Oh, yeah, no shit. He's going to have no alcohol. And not only that, Tim, but think about this. On the way to go meet Haggis, there was just a vulture hanging out there. There's got to be so many vultures just ready to pick this kid apart.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where my idea comes from. You got to put this kid's body in a better spot where it's not too closely related to you.
Exactly. Yeah, drag him off somewhere.
Some vulture picked him up, right?
Just throw him at Haggis.
Thunderbird.
She wanted to keep the dead body, remember? Hey, Haggis, I got one for you. You can boil up a weird potion or something. Whatever the fuck you do in your spare time.
Oh, she can learn to fly that way.
Lining.
Yeah. You learn to. Yeah, you just have to boil his fat, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just render him.
Yeah. So he swings it with the machete like stupidly, and of course Pumpkinhead just like blocks the machete. Just no problem. And then he does the like grabs the dude's hand and does the stop hitting yourself move. Whack. Then drags off the other lady, Kim. Now I know her name because I think this is the first time somebody said her name. Like he was like Kim, and I'm like, oh, that's her. So drags her ass up a tree, and then drops her back first onto this giant fucking boulder.
It looks like a sacrificial rock.
Oh, it looks so good because you just see her folded over.
Yeah.
Folded over backwards on a stone like she's serving up cunt for everybody.
And I have written down, this is a pretty fucking decent stunt that they do in the movie because they're both up there in that tree.
Yeah.
It might not be the actual actress, but there's a stunt person up there and somebody in that fucking suit all the way, 60 feet up in the air?
Oh, yeah, they're a good 40 feet at least up in that fucking tree. That had to be scary as shit to fucking film that day, dude.
Yeah, don't worry. The wire's going to hold.
Yeah, you're not going to get Owen Hearted up there, Pumpkinhead.
Oh, and you see it long shot, too, so you know there's nothing underneath them.
Nope. No, there's no weird, air mat for them to fall into. There ain't shit, Candice. Just whatever's tethering their ass to the tree. So, yeah, her ass is just fucking dead. So, they, the rest of them, Tracy, Joel, not Joey, Joel, and Chris. I've got all their names here. Okay. Ed Hardy shows up at the cabin to look at the damage and try to help them. And they just run off. They try to, jump in a truck or something. They find this old crazy, creepy cabin. And they find this crazy, busted up old truck that they're all like, okay, jump in it. We'll fire it up. Get out of here. Just then this crazy old guy with a shotgun just shows up, fires off a warning shot. Blow! Get off of my land.
It's not that crazy. This fucking teenager just stealing his truck.
Yeah,
I mean, he's thinking they're going to steal his truck, which is exactly what they were trying to do.
Yeah. So they're like, no, you got to let us borrow your truck to go to town and never come back with it. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you steal my truck, dummy.
Can I leave my MasterCard with you?
Yeah, look, raise your hand if you have a shotgun. Okay, I do. You're not taking my truck.
I can't because I got it in my hand.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, keep your hands up. So he tells them, look, I'm going to get the fuck out of here because you're marked. And then they're like, well, wait a minute. What do you mean marked? He's like, yeah, the fucking Pumpkinhead's going to kill you, dummy.
You got pumpkin seeds all over you.
Yeah. He's like, get the fuck out of here because I don't want him fucking up my shit. You need to go. So then old Pumpkinhead, he shows up. He's like, yeah, you're talking about me? And they're like, shit. So Ed Hardy, he shoots at Pumpkinhead a couple of times from behind. Blah, blah, right? And just then Joel walks up on Pumpkinhead, laying on the ground, gives him the double tap, Candice.
Yeah, he pumps a round straight into its skull.
Yeah. But it doesn't work.
Nope, because Pumpkinhead grabs his fucking leg.
This kind of practical thinking by Joel, this cold-blooded thinking, what you have to do is take that kid's body, put it someplace else, you never even fucking run into Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
You're 3 states away before that guy finds his kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and but it also establishes that you cannot kill this thing.
Right. Yeah, we've established that is just impossible. right? We fucking point blank to the dome. Pumpkinhead gets up, grabs fucking Joe. I'm going to call him Joey. I know his name's Joel now, but I've been calling him Joey. And it's funnier to imagine this all happening to Joey from Friends. So he grabs Joey by the leg. Pumpkinhead does. And it's like, oh, fuck. Like you said, Candice, we just can't kill it. What the fuck are you going to do now?
Yep.
So Ed Hardy, he starts having another one of his fits, his Pumpkinhead traumatic stress disorder. While Pumpkinhead just grabs the shotgun and fucking toothpicks Joey with it.
And you see
I thought he was going to shoot him.
And it doesn't cut away from the Pumpkinhead, like, leaning down, picking up the gun and holding it and bringing it around.
Yep.
The amount of, like,
he got hoisted.
Flexibility that had to have taken for that much makeup. Damn.
Oh, I know. To be in that suit and to be able to be that mobile is... And
it looks convincing, too. It doesn't look cheesy at all.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. So,
it's practical effects again. So Joel, just don't beat him.
Yeah, that's true, Tim. I mean, you can do a little. If you do practical and then just kind of touch it up with digital after the fact, that can still look pretty good.
To hide the strings.
Right. But yeah, no, for the most part, you're right. You can only do this kind of stuff with practical. It's the only way it looks this good. But it takes a lot of time and fucking effort, though, man.
And money.
Yep. So, then the other guys are like, yeah, okay, he's busy with our friend, so let's get the fuck out of here. They run off. And then we just kind of check in with the Dirt Children real quick. So we see that Chris and Tracy are survivors. They come knocking on old Wallace's door. And so the dad, Wallace, he reminds all his little ragamuffins. He's like, listen, it only kills what it's assigned to kill or just what gets in the way. Yeah. So just try to anticipate where it's going next and don't be between here and there.
Yeah. No opening doors, no jumping out windows, nothing like that.
Nope. Just shelter in place. And if we had done that, COVID would have been over a lot sooner. So, Dirt Kid number 3, but he gets up and gets dressed. And his sister wife asks him where he's going.
Dude, I swear to God, I thought that they were going to kiss at one point. They were so close to each other. And I'm like, wait a second. How were their beds so close together? And then I was like, wait, each one of them's got like 3 other fucking kids in the bed with them.
Yeah.
It's
a very close family. They're going to have a flowers in the attic situation.
Oh, God. Yeah, they just have their other strong sister that lives in the attic. They feed her fish heads and don't talk about her.
But I have a note for this part because he's putting on overalls, and I had a pair of overalls exactly like those.
Of course you did.
All dirty, Candice?
Huh?
All dirty too? Full of dirt?
Probably. No one took care of me. And I didn't take baths.
You said you were going to put a picture of you at 16 on Twitter. Do you have a piece of straw in your mouth in the picture?
No, I got the Celtic cross necklace because I was very cool.
Oh yeah, that's 2 things that don't go together: straw in the mouth and the Celtic cross.
Yeah, that's a weird combo.
How dark is your hair in the picture, Candice?
It was black.
Wow.
Excellent. And do we have the matching fingernail polish?
Oh, you can't see my hands, but in the shirt, I'm wearing this like green shirt with a black dragon on it.
Hell yeah. Dude, we need more dragon shirts. Speaking of Ed Hardy. So yeah, the sister wife is all like, hey, Butt, where are you going? He's like, I got to go help them folks. I got to find out if Pumpkinhead's real, because Pa's been telling us about Pumpkinhead since we could stand. So it's like, I got to go take a look at it, see what's going on, So then his sister wife, she's like kind of nervous, and he gives her that last like lover's look of, don't worry, sweetheart, I'll be home, and then crawls out the window. And they're fucking, right? They're just fucking. She's serving him up cunt.
I mean, there's a point in this when she stands up to like close the window and her like figure silhouetted by the candlelight. I'm like, Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure those two have been doing
too
some
old to be sleeping next to each other that close. Yep.
Yeah, and that scene I just said, and we picked not to do Jeepers Creepers this month because people have, some problems with children. So we do Pumpkinhead.
That's a real problem, though, versus this one just a screenplay problem.
Right. Yeah, so if you're waiting for Jeepers Creepers, I think we're covering that flavor of folk horror with Pumpkinhead here, and it might be a better movie. So,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough one. He crawls out the window, and he finds the two survivors. He's like, listen, we need to go someplace that's safe to talk. I'm like, how? How do you know of a place that's safe? First of all, you didn't even know if Pumpkinhead's real.
Well, plus, like, when he's saying a safe place to talk, he's whispering. They're yelling at him.
Oh, yeah.
Right outside the house, yeah.
Yeah, right outside the window.
Shh, we got to be quiet. My dad and my sister wife might hear. What do you mean, be quiet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll be quiet, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So they just go find the church that I think a Burzum video was filmed in, if I'm not mistaken. This is old burned down, fucked up half of a church.
Yeah, they tried to start a congregation there, but it didn't take.
Yeah, and I just have what was this in Finland?
Well, no, it's like, look where it is. It's right next to that fucking family. That's it. That's the only people you're going to be able to go to that church.
That's a good point. Haggis ain't going in there.
Yeah. And they only like the Old Testament. They don't like the New Testament.
And I get the feeling Wallace with his dirt children is one of those, like, I'm going to homeschool them all and we have our own religion kind of guys.
Oh, I actually knew people who, like, all their family lived on this gigantic plot of land. I'm talking acres and acres of land.
Oh, boy.
And they would just all build a new house or get a new trailer when, like, new additions to the family arrived.
Oh.
And they actually had their own church that was just for them. And it was like their patriarch, great-grandpa, who would give the sermon every Sunday.
Oh, God.
Wow, that's
that was
shit.
That was the 2000s.
And right down the road from there, Tim, is a gas station that serves fried chicken and has a murder ride. Really cool.
I was wondering how you get some new blood into that fucking town.
Well, I didn't want to ask that question about what do you mean when new people arrive?
Well, I mean, when they, bring their women folk home, when they went and got a job.
Yeah. They lay down with them, serve up some cunt.
Biblically. How does one serve up cunt biblically?
Missionary position?
In the Bible, whenever the man wants it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Unless they're going to get beat like Satan's wife.
Unless they're bleeding. Then you shun them.
I love that, like, every culture, when women are bleeding, is like, yeah, we got to get rid of them.
That doesn't fit into my plans tonight.
Yeah, hey, when they're doing that, their magic is real strong. So we're going to send them down the creek about...
And it's totally not because they're being real bitchy.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. And then multiple cultures, too, that have never intersected before then. Yep. I fucking love that. Oh, man. So, yeah, Butt gives them the exposition dump, right? And he's like, listen, if somebody does something real bad, like, I don't know.
Kill their kid.
Yeah, kill their kid.
Just throwing it out there, just floating ideas.
Kill their kid, try to cover it up, that kind of stuff. Then you can call this dude up Pumpkinhead. I know it's a dumb name, but whatever. And he will take some revenge. And they're like, if you kill somebody's kid. Oh, wait a minute. What about that kid we killed?
I think there's a connection.
And they're
like, but we didn't do anything.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, Butt, if we killed the guy down at the gas station, Ed Hardy's kid, do you think that would count? And he's like, yeah.
The guy at the gas station?
Wait a minute.
I saw him with a dead body of his son in his truck today.
Yeah. I took him and his dead son up to Haggis, the witch. So that's a hell of a coincidence now that I think about it.
Yeah. Especially for a small town like this. Wow. This shit happens all the time.
Why is he surprised?
I don't know.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed?
Yeah. I guess that's true. So the dude asks Butt, like, look, can you take me to where people park their cars here? And I'm like, what? He literally just says, take me to where people park their cars.
I did not pay that much close
I was
attention
like,
to the
okay,
dialogue.
cool. So this is when they show up at the trap, right? Because they go and they see one of the dirt bikes just waiting for them.
Yep, just highlighted, silhouetted.
Yeah.
The fucking thing, he set it up in a fucking light so you can
You know
see
what
it nice.
Candice, you'll appreciate this one. I'm going back to Demon Knight for you. It looks like when the Demon Knight is outside trying to seduce Cordelia.
Oh, yeah.
Just silhouetted like perfectly with
soft
the
light around him.
Yeah. And then there's the bike, and they're like, "Oh shit, there's a bike. This is really convenient. We could just use this, right?" So Chris hops on it, revs it up, and it ain't going anywhere. And Tim,
Such a great scene.
Tim, why isn't it going anywhere, buddy?
Because somehow or another, Pumpkinhead has managed to sneak up on him and just show him the fucking bike chain, just holding in his hand. So.
The fucking Pumpkinhead took the chain off this bike. He knew how to use a dirt bike and how it worked enough to
sabotage
set this booby trap.
And then they set it up and look nice and pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead did all the lighting. Like this guy's a little stinker. He's like a Bugs Bunny type, you know?
And he comes up with the chain and he's holding it in his gigantic claws, and then he just smiles.
Just a big shit-eating grin right at him, like, I got you, you son of a bitch.
And this is why I love the movie.
That's very fucking funny.
It's such a great smile.
It's so good. So then they're like, fuck, flee. And they just run away again. This time through the church that they're all chilling out in. They run out the back of it. And Pumpkinhead, like, kind of slowly walks through the church.
Yeah, because at first you're like, oh, this is sacred land. He can't get here.
Yep.
But then he just nonchalantly walks right up in there.
It's kind of
this is nothing.
Sees a cross at the back of the church. And he's like, man, fuck that shit. He grabs it and busts it. Bam. And then
he's already in hell, so.
Think about this, though, Tim. 1988, you're watching a horror movie. And the monster busts up a cross.
Well, no, that's okay. That's fine because, of course, he's a monster. He's a demon from hell. He's the enemy, right? So that's perfectly in his character, and that just makes me hate him even more.
I don't know,
plus,
Tim.
I would think of Rawhead Rex, and he pissed on a priest.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, The Exorcist...
But then there's plenty of people who've done that.
The Exorcist took all sorts of liberties with a crucifix, if we're being fair.
True, yes.
Just talk about serving up cunt. Holy shit.
Wasn't there a Typo Negative song about masturbating with a crucifix?
A Christian woman.
Yes, that's it. That's a good song.
It was about a woman that he dated that was a Christian that he thought like was a little too in love with Jesus.
If you know what I mean. She didn't just love Jesus, she was in love with Jesus.
Yes. Like banging out, like serving up cunt to the Lord.
I serve up cunt to the Lord.
We gotta make that T-shirt. It can't be that preacher. It's got to be somebody else. Tim, you'll figure it out. It's got to be like some sexy nun from a horror movie. And it just says,
there's that Cradle of Filth T-shirt.
I'm gonna go on Google right after this. I'm gonna type in "sexy nun" and see what pops up.
Sexy nun, horror, nude, cunt, serving tea. Pumpkinhead.
Nun serves up cunt.
Yeah, and with tea.
Nun serves up punishment. I got
with tea and Pumpkinhead. Two different words. Pumpkin space head.
There was that Cradle of Filth T-shirt that was it was the nun masturbating with the crucifix.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Jesus is cunt was what it said.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a tough shirt to buy and then wear out in public. You know,
Do you think she got it from J.C. Penney?
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, they fucking flee. They get the hell out of there. Pumpkinhead busts up the cross. He gets pissed at it, busts it up, runs through the back of the church and chases them. So Ed Hardy goes to the Dirt Kid's house, right? And he's like, I'm going to blow the fucking door open unless you open it up, you son of a bitch. And then, like, I guess Wallace's brother or somebody, I don't know
Somebody,
who.
yeah.
Some dude.
I think it's his son.
One of them. Yeah, you know what? It might as well. One of the Wallace bunch shows up. I think it was like Marsha and Cindy.
The Wallace bunch.
Oh, with Haggis in the middle as the maid.
You don't want to know the way we became.
Yeah, and then when they cross over with the Partridge Family, it could just be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family.
The Sawyer bunch.
I'm so down with that. So, yeah, they try to get the fuck out of there, you know, and dude threatens he's going to blow the fucking door open. They get the drop on him with the gun. And the dad tells him, like, Wallace tells Ed Hardy, look, you need to piss off, man. Get the fuck out of here. Bring your curse somewhere else, away from us. We don't want to fucking deal with it.
Don't kill it. Don't get us killed.
Yeah, yeah. So
perfectly reasonable.
This is what we cut back to. Chris gets smacked by Pumpkinhead, right? And Butt takes Tracy and drags her off. He's like, let's get the fuck out of here, you know. So Chris is done for. He's getting his ass handed to him. And on the way...
Yeah, isn't he, like, being slammed into trees and stuff?
Yeah,
like, he's getting the shit beat out of him.
He's getting beat up. He's not getting, like, mortally wounded yet. Like, Pumpkinhead's having some fun.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere, right?
No. He's just shoulder checking him a couple of times, you know.
You got to take your time, because after this... What do you do? You go back to the fucking pumpkin patch, right? So I take my sweet time getting my revenge on these kids. In fact, I let one of them get away and chase after them for like the next 50 or 60 years.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, is this probably the only time he gets to actually do anything, so he really wants to take his time and enjoy it?
Yeah, so I'm assuming in the mythology that whatever's buried there isn't really Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead's a demon that inhabits.
I know, it's like a vessel.
Right. So, yeah, then this demon, man, he's just like cooped up in hell watching Satan beat the fuck out of his wife. Just like, when can I get out of here? When can I get up and just...
Would someone please call on vengeance?
Yeah, anybody. And I'm just like, dude, if the internet had been invented back then, vengeance just never sleeps. It's just like...
Well, there's got to be a lot of different types of vengeances, right? You got to want vengeance, and you got to be asking for Pumpkinhead in particular.
And you have to be willing to sell your soul.
Yeah, but we learned from that chick track that might be...
Yeah, but most people don't know that.
That's a good point. Tim knows it, though. So now he's got a loophole.
I do, yeah.
You can tell God, you can be like, listen, I might have sold my soul for weed, which I assume you did, right? At some point in your life.
Never mind to give away to begin with.
Yeah. So... yeah, dude. Then Ed Hardy shows up with them, right? With Chris and with Tracy and Butt running off. And he's tinkering with his flamethrower. And he tells, because they run into the barn. And he tells Tracy, he's like, look, it was an accident. I get it, right? And Tracy's like, yeah, can you get Pumpkinhead to call it off? And he's like, yeah, you go talk to him. Like, you think I can just tell that dude?
Reason with them, yeah.
You think I can just tell him, like, hey man, we're good?
The dude clearly enjoys it.
Yeah, he's having a. Did you see him smile with that chain? This guy's having a.
The last time he was out of hell was 1957.
Dude, no kidding, man. It's been a while, man. He's got some pent up frustration. He is vengeance. I mean, come on. So he's like, yeah, nothing can call it off, but I'm going to send it back to whatever hell it come from. Not came from, come from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to show how uneducated he is.
It done comed from. So Butt sits on the bed, and he's like marveling at indoor lights for a minute. Like, wow. These clean people got like real... They must got fireflies what stay up in them glass globes up in the sky, up in the house sky they got. And I do like the dog jump scares him. It's like, it's the dog, whatever. Pets him.
Oh, this dog's going to steal a scene pretty soon.
This dog rules. So then Ed Hardy starts freaking out again, and we see Pumpkinhead in the doorway. And he's got beat up Chris. He just chucks on the ground. And Tim, as you said, the dog like climbed in a fucking chest.
Yep.
And somehow the dog opened the top of the chest a little bit so it could look out.
Look out and then duck back in.
And then duck back in.
It's the little things.
Oh my God, what a fucking shot. For real.
It's so stupid, but I love it.
Somebody got to make a gif of that.
Yeah, dude. I got to find a timestamp, make a GIF out of that. It's just from when you peek into the Discord to see what the fuck people are talking about. And you just dip out real quick, like, nah, never mind.
Yeah. They're talking about food again.
You hope.
Yeah.
That's a mild day. You had Candice in there talking about cunt and all sorts of crazy shit.
Schooling everybody about dishing out cunt.
Yeah. And
Or serving it up, sorry.
Oh,
dishing it out.
Tracy grabs the flamethrower to go after Mr. Pumpkinhead, and Ed Hardy, he gets the demon eyes.
Right. And now he's a pumpkinhead.
He's a pumpkinhead too. And now you've seen people like step on rakes before, right? And it pops up and it hits them real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, ah, shit. And Candice, you might have like walked into a wall or a stool or something.
Yeah.
How drunk would you have to be to impale yourself on a pitchfork?
I think that's when I discovered Long Island iced tea's level of drunk.
Oof. Yeah, that's a rough one, man. Because Ed Hardy just like walks out of the cabin and walks into a pitchfork, and it stabs through his shoulder like a good,
he's
like,
embedded on it. It
2
didn't stab
inches.
him a little bit.
And I'm like, was he running? What the fuck happened? Is it like an A-Train situation where he just like can
Just move so
super
fast.
speed and then just materialize with a pitchfork in him? But he notices, oh, wait a minute, that hurt Pumpkinhead. Because Pumpkinhead's like, my shoulder too, dog.
Yeah, we're connected. It works both ways.
Yeah. So he's like, well, wait a minute. If I do that and it hurts Pumpkinhead, what if I blow my fucking brains out?
Yep.
So, and I've poked a little bit of fun at the movie here, but, you know, it's a fun movie, and we've all had a good time. There's some dumb parts of it, like maybe the impaling himself on the pitchfork. But when he goes into the car and he gets the gun and he shoots himself in the head point blank with, let's call it a 38.
It's a 38, but it would have to be a 22 for this to even maybe possibly happen, right?
Yeah, because then Pumpkinhead's like, shit, I got shot in the head, and falls down. And then this asshole that just shot himself in the head comes stumbling over to them.
The motherfucker's still alive.
And if it was anybody but Lance Henriksen, I would say, no, man, bullshit.
But he sells it.
He sells it, yeah. And he falls on the ground. Assumedly dead, but no, he's alive, even though he shot himself in the fucking head. So he falls down, boom. Then Pumpkinhead pops up, and he grabs Butt. And then Tracy runs over and picks up the gun. And Ed's like, no, kill me, just shoot me in the head. And she's like,
do it.
Yeah, do it. And she's like, I don't want to. And then she sees his eyes, and she's like, ugh.
Because he gets the demon eyes again.
So she just like, but when she shoots at him, it looks like she just shoots him in the leg like 4 times.
Oh my god, do you remember in Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, the DLC, when you like kill all of the Bigfoots because you think that they're killing all these people, but come to find out they're actually like vegetarians, and you've killed all of them but this one, and he begs you to kill him because everyone he loves is dead.
Spoiler alert.
My husband was like reached that point in the story, and he took a knife and just started stabbing him in the arm and the leg. I was like, oh my god.
Well, I mean, come on, you gotta give the guy his final wish.
He's asking you to kill him.
I was like, that's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen.
Just knocks him out, drags him over, and feeds him to the alligators.
Could have set him on fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of things you could have done.
Put him on the train tracks.
He picked the slowest possible way. And it's running
lasso
away
him
and like
put all your bait on
stop. You're just chasing it and stabbing it.
That's what I did to all the women's suffrage broads in the town.
Stab them?
No, I hog-tied them and threw them on a train track. Like Snidely Whiplash or Dick Dastardly. So, no, Pumpkinhead pops up, he grabs butt, and then Tracy grabs the gun, and Ed Hardy's like, no, shoot me. So, yeah, she shoots him to death, and he falls over dead. And then Pumpkinhead just burns up. I'm like, that's weird that he catches on fire when he dies.
Oh, no, you got to get rid of the evidence. Otherwise, how many times would you find Pumpkinhead's body?
Yeah. Or maybe it's the hellfires coming to consume the soul of vengeance or whatever. And then we just cut to the old witch lady, Haggis, picking up dead Ed Hardy and burying him in the pumpkin grave.
Because he will be the next Pumpkinhead.
Because he'll be the
And we know it's him because we see that stupid-ass necklace.
Because Lance Henriksen, Wednesdays are your day to be in the barrel. And that's Pumpkinhead.
Love this movie.
Yeah, fantastic movie to watch. A lot of fun, a lot of bad acting in it, but it's 1988 and it's a slasher. So,
What do you expect?
what more could you want? I mean, really, some of the badness makes it fun, So, highly recommend Pumpkinhead. I know we've spoiled the hell out of it, but if you haven't seen it by now, come on.
Although this is kind of a hard to find hidden movie.
Is it?
It is.
Not if you're on the blood bank.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to
we
say,
have everything
I
in the
watched
blood
it
bank.
on the blood bank, so I didn't have a hard time at all. Anybody got any other recommendations to throw out with this? They say you watch Pumpkinhead, maybe you want to. You're in a Pumpkinhead vibe, Candice.
I have a book.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise. If you're into this Southern folklore, this Southern Gothic horror folklore, then you should read Sin Eater by Elizabeth Massey.
Okay.
It goes along with a real like deep South myth where there's like a certain person in the community who will put food on a corpse's chest and then eat it, and it's absorbing their sins into themselves so they can go to heaven.
Sin Eater, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's that, and it's about the Sin Eater's family.
Oh,
so it's really like Southern Gothic splatter punk, real folk horror sort of vibe.
Interesting. What was that Robin Williams movie where he goes through people's memories when they die and cuts out the bad parts?
1 hour photo?
What?
No, it was not 1 hour photo. I don't remember a movie like that.
Damn it.
That's a movie. I thought it was 1 hour photo.
No, 1 hour photo is the one where he works at a photo place.
Becomes obsessed with the family.
He gets obsessed with the family and like stalks
takes shit in their toilet. He goes into their house and takes a shit in their toilet.
Yeah, God damn it.
Does he flush?
I don't remember. I don't know if it shows.
Yeah, I just looked it up, Tim. He does flush.
Okay. Then I'm not watching it. I want to see Robin's turd, or I don't see anything in it.
He leaves a floater for the family when they come back.
Jesus. Yeah, that movie reminded me of the whole the mythos of the Sin Eaters, right? Because he's going through people's death memories and getting rid of the bad stuff for them. That weighs heavily on the Sin Eater. And wasn't that the folklore about putting the coins on the eyes too? Well,
that's for Charon.
Right.
For the ferryman.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like when they would leave dead bodies out in front of their house. Back in history, they would put the coins on, but then the Sin Eaters would come and they would take some piece of food and the coins, basically, to absolve them of their sins.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Basically, they invented...
so another loophole.
Yeah, it's another Jesus. You just put all the sins on one guy and then kill him. I mean, and again, not to get too into the religious aspect of it, but we did just cover the Wicker Man, so kind of the same shit. Human sacrifice to ensure prosperity of others. So, all right. So, sounds like a fun book. What about you, Tim? Anything you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
Well, by the time this comes out, it might be a week or two later. I'm going to be on the grind bin doing Tommy. with Mike Ratt.
Oh, that's a great
I'm
one.
pretty sure I was singing during, not throughout the whole thing, but you hear me singing. So,
well, I'm definitely going to be cutting some clips out of that one. Okay, so check that out on the Grind Bin. The it's going to be coming out soon, I suppose. What about you, Candice?
Nope, just at HorrorHoochie69 on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can follow Tim at Yobo Gold on Twitter. You can follow me at Eddie the Axe or at Bloody Bits for our official podcast Twitter account for when I get banned for telling a guy to give telling a man to give himself a swirly, a grown man to give himself a swirly, and then you get banned. And it's a grown man who, by the way, is a free speech absolutist who refuses to properly gender trans people, and that's what made him famous. But, you know, I told him to, I didn't even threaten him in any way. I just said he should practice holding his breath by sticking his head in the toilet. That's not a threat.
it's the kind of freedom of speech that he doesn't like, so that's it.
But if you enjoy our kind of freedom of speech, you should go to our Patreon at patreon.com/bloodybits to get access to our bonus episodes, as well as, Tim,
The Blood Bank. With how many movies now?
Blood Bank with 6,039 movies.
Good God.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wonder how many hours that is. Can you figure that out?
No, but I'll tell you the 6,000th movie that was added. Let me see if I can figure this out here.
Fuck, Marry, Kill.
No, it was not. Fuck, Marry, Kill is in there, though. So if you want to watch that, and then get back to me about how it turned out, because I am not
Prove Eddie
going
wrong.
to.
Somebody out there's got to like that movie.
Yeah, probably you, Tim. Now, the 6,000th movie that was added is The Fighter from 1989 with Richard Norton and Benny Urquidez.
I don't know this movie.
Neither do I, but it looks fantastic. Ryan Travers has just been released from a prison in Bangkok, Thailand, after serving a 5-year sentence for murder. His parents for serving up cunt in Bangkok.
You only get 5 years?
Well, wow, look at this guy's face. Holy shit. This dude's got a fucked up... Yeah, anyhow.
Why don't you put it in the Discord, Eddie?
Hey, you know what?
No, no, don't do that. No.
It's a good idea, Tim. Thank you for reminding me. I should start doing that more often. No, so his parents running an antique shop in the area while waiting for their son to be released are killed in an explosion perpetuated by the local mob. So,
wait a second.
What?
Are they running this shop in Thailand waiting for him? Or they just, like, before he got arrested, they weren't doing anything? He got arrested, then they said, let's open up an antique shop till we wait for our son to come out?
Tim, you can find that out by watching The Fighter in the Blood Bank at patreon.com/bloodybits. You can also watch Marry, Fuck, Kill, like I said. I wouldn't, but you could. Another one that was just added, if you're feeling pumpkin-y and heady, Headless Horseman from 2022. That's got Sean Whalen in it.
Ooh,
really?
Who's that?
That's the he was in 3 from Hell. What the fuck? He's that creepy looking guy that was in that Pauly Shore movie.
Pauly Shore?
No. Pauly Shore. Very good. No, he was in God damn it. He was in Scrubs. He was Jury Duty. He was the killer in Jury Duty that Pauly Shore was trying to get off.
What?
You're talking like we've seen a Pauly Shore movie.
We need to do all the Pauly Shore movies.
No,
we don't. No, this is not the right podcast for this. It's called a horror podcast.
They're pretty horrible. We've also got...
treating us horribly doesn't count.
We've also got Evil Twins. EVUL Twins, TWIN with a Z at the end.
Oh, man.
Written and directed...
Watch that one next.
Written and directed by Mercedes the Muse.
Oh, boy.
Twin brothers Jack and Larry find themselves out of their medication and decide it's for the better. Thus begins their reign of terror as they hunt for food to satisfy their hunger for human flesh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the cover of it.
Hey, look, folks, they can't all be winners if there's 6,000 plus movies, right?
Tim, it's 69 minutes long.
Oh,
perfect.
Wow, that's
Nice.
I mean, that's usually nice, but
It stars a guy named Mario Kota Bakara. What the fuck is this? I might have to check this out tonight. And you can check it out too at patreon.com/bloodybits. So,
and give us a review if you can join.
Exactly. Give us a review of 5 stars or 1 star, but make it funny.
Yeah, nothing in between. Because if I'm looking at a podcast, I like to see who says 5 stars. I like to see who leaves the 1-star reviews, and then I can judge. Yeah, I want to listen to this podcast.
And if you want to play with me on Diablo 4, tough. I don't play with people on Diablo anymore, especially not my coworkers. They don't get to know my name. So you can probably find me. So I think that's about it then, folks. Thank you for tuning in, and this is how we end it.